All right. Says we're live. I'm going to do what I always do. Kill a little bit of time to make sure it shows up. In fact, when I used to do the interviews for At the Mic, and all the episodes are here somewhere on the page, my interviews with individuals such as Brad Staggs, who will be joining me momentarily. I do this countdown where you never heard this because I would edit it out, and it always be 3, 2, 1. Welcome to this edition of At the Mic. I'm your host, Keith Malinak. I think I'm going to just start doing that, and that'll cover a couple bases there. Okay. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. I'm grateful as always. Before I forget, I want to remind you that tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern will be part 5 of our 12-part series on Disney, Saving Disney History, with Professor Ed McCrae, who is absolutely awesome. I love that guy. He has such a wealth of knowledge, and he has been walking us through the history of Walt Disney and his company and how it's, well, being ruined today. And that's an important history worth saving. Today, though, on the Friday live stream, we're obviously here with a couple of very important individuals. You know him. He's Brad Staggs from the Daily Mojo.
Aww.
And would you tell everybody where they can find your show? I think it's weekday mornings from
It is.
8
It's
to 10
that's
Eastern.
8 to 10 Eastern, but 7 to 9 Central. And
Right.
quite frankly, I live in the Central time zone, so I'm like,
Yeah,
screw the Eastern time zone. It's 7 to 9 Central.
that's
You
fair.
do your own math conversion, but the Daily Mojo is over
Yeah.
at thedailymojo.com.
And that actually airs tomorrow in Guam.
It does. It does at 3 minutes past Greenwich Mean Time.
So if people want Daily Mojo swag, I think you sell some stuff. Where do you sell that?
Strangely, I sell that at thedailymojo.com, and then you just click on shop, or it may even say swag.
Awesome.
Is right there. By the way, I just wanted to find out, have you sent the check for me for being on this show from last time? Because I'm not sure I can go on unless I've got the check.
Sorry, I hate that I'm having to do this show while I'm driving around. So I just went in a tunnel and you just dropped off in that. That sucks. Okay, so Brad Staggs, thanks for making time. Now, the other guy I've only recently gotten to know because he's a fairly new Blaze TV employee, coworker of mine over at the Blaze. In fact, when I bring him up here on the screen, you will see that he's sitting at my mic position there in the studio, the Pat Gray studio. Ta-da! Steve Baker. Hello, sir. I wanted to prove to the world that you can have a discussion about things not related to January 6th. So here we are.
Yeah.
If people aren't familiar, boy, our federal government sucks. That's not a news flash, but they are targeting you for being a journalist on January 6th. And so you have some legal issues that you're dealing with. And maybe you could just briefly update us on what is going on with you, man.
Well, technically, they're not targeting me for being a journalist. That's actually not a crime. So they're making up some other ones to substitute for that insinuation, which is very Soviet of them, by the way, as you know.
That's the word.
Well, no, it is. You know, one of the things that I learned about when I was a touring musician and toured over in the Soviet Union many, many moons ago was that the individuals that they would arrest over there for their various quote unquote crimes they never arrested them for what they were actually doing, because what they were doing was technically not a crime. So they would create a crime. Show me the man, I'll show you the crime.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's happening, not only in my case, but in so many other cases related to January 6th. So my update is that the Department of Justice has gone silent yet again, and we won't cover the whole story here. I mean, we have plenty of resources for people if they want to see my entire story out there, including on Blaze. We actually have a 3-part series that we've written on the Blaze.com that will kind of update you where I am in this legal scenario that I'm caught up in right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact is I was there on January 6th, 2021. I was covering the event as a journalist, and I followed the story where the story went. The story went into the Capitol, and myself and 60 other journalists, independents, mainstream, stringers, of all types, went through open doors, broken windows, such as that. But the only guys being targeted are those of us who, have the wrong narrative, and that's the long and the short of it.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Shameful.
You're getting updates though, about what the next move. I don't know how much of this we can talk about, but
I've been very open. In fact, I think one of the reasons why I've not been jacked up yet officially is because we've been very aggressive. We've been on offense since day one of the threat. And that threat began 2.5 years ago, and we've been on offense ever since. And that has continued even since I've been with the Blaze. And so I probably should. Well, I'll just do it right here on your, your podcast. I will update the DOJ on my circumstance. How's that?
All right. What's up, Feds? I know
Good
you're
idea.
watching. Let's go.
They monitor me everywhere, so I'm always, I'm always being listened to. But the update for you guys there at the Department of Justice and my two FBI agents who, by the way, hi Craig and hi Garrett. Glad to have you guys on with us today. But the point being is that one of my sources at DOJ has insinuated to me this week that just a couple of days ago, as a matter of fact, that my case file may have been moved off to the side until the Supreme Court deals with this 1512 obstruction of an official proceeding felony charge that so many of the J6 defendants have been jacked up with, and which verified to me in a way that in fact that's what they were looking to do, was to find a justification for hitting me with a felony. And the reason why I knew that they were looking to hit me with a felony instead of the 4 basic misdemeanors that all the other accidental tourists got caught up in that day is that back in August of last year was when I got an actual grand jury subpoena for my videos that I took that day, because grand juries are not seated for misdemeanor events or misdemeanor crimes. So when you get a grand jury subpoena, that means they're looking at you for a felony.
Wow.
Can I ask you a question? And again, I know we don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but when you found out they were after you, what did that feel like? What was the first thing? I mean, if I get bad news, I feel like I'm going to throw up. What was the first feeling you had when you realized they were after you?
Well, I got a call in July of 21, and when I got that call, it was Special Agent Garrett Doss, and he said, "Hi, I'm with the FBI." And I said, my first words out of my mouth was, "What took you so long?" And then he said, "No kidding. I was speaking at an event in outside of DC. I think it was in Reston, Virginia, the next night." So he called me on a Thursday morning, and I was speaking at this event on a Friday night. And he said, I see here that you're speaking at this thing in Reston tomorrow night. And I was just wondering if you were going to be in town earlier in the afternoon, and maybe you could sit down with a couple of our guys and, kind of just talk about your day at January 6th, that sort of thing. So obviously they're already watching my calendar, right? So they knew that I was going to be just outside of DC the next day.
That was public, that event and everything?
Yeah, it was a publicly
announced just checking.
Yeah, it wasn't a private event. And it was actually a Libertarian Party event.
Oh, there's a red flag for you right there. Look where he's speaking, y'all.
Yeah. So the next thing he says to me, or actually says after he says to me that I was wondering if you could sit down with a couple of our guys since you're going to be right there and outside of DC. And I said, yeah. I actually said, yeah, I am going to be there early in the afternoon. I said, the problem is my attorney won't be able to be there. It was, oh yeah, okay. Well, I guess yeah, we can wait till your attorney is available. I said, all right. So from that point forward, I turned it over to my attorney, and I've never spoken directly to them again, kind of, sort of, because I have confronted one of my agents a couple of times. I've face to face. Yeah, actually.
I tell you what a nightmare this country has become. Is there any concern that your sources, I don't know, maybe, like, let's just say hypothetically, if you had anybody, that could give you a heads up.
Hypothetically, every single person, including both of you right now, are are on my watch list. No, I look,
I'm just wondering if everybody's safe in your world.
no, I don't consider anybody that I speak to since that day as being safe. I speak to every single person that I talk to with a full awareness that I'm being listened to, I'm being watched. I don't trust any of my communication. I don't trust.
Read that, Fed.
Yeah, there you go. I'll give him a moment.
Yeah, there we go. I'm just letting them know where I stand. Anyway, continue.
No, I just don't. I don't communicate at all. And this is the truth, if I need to tell somebody something that I am absolutely concerned about being heard, all devices go off, they go in another room, and I walk off into the woods with the person I'm talking to, and we have a chat. I mean, that's just the way it is. And then of course the other people will go, oh, well, what are you saying that's so that you can't be heard, or anything I want to say. It's my business.
Welcome to America 2.0.
And the reality is that they know what I'm working on, and by the Department of Justice, the FBI, they know what I'm working on. They know the stories that I'm developing. My sources have been reliable up to this point, and they have told me explicitly that the powers that be are quote unquote terrified by what we've been working on, and I think that's why that they initiated their second round of not because they never charged me the first time back in November of 21 when they actually said they were going to charge me within a week in November of 21, and then they disappeared. and then as you guys know, on December 14th, just before this past Christmas, just 6-7 weeks ago, my attorney called me and said, okay, well, the day we've been waiting for is coming. They want you to self-surrender next week. And that would have been the 19th in Raleigh, where I live. And they wanted me to self-surrender there in Raleigh on the 19th. And I said, okay, well, I guess here we go. And then we went into full offensive mode again, media appearances and all of that was on with Glenn the next morning. And then they backed off again. And they said, okay, well, now we're going to delay it until your self-surrender until mid-January. And then we got past mid-January and we still hadn't heard from them. And what is it now? Oh, it's February 2nd. Still haven't
heard. Okay. They wait until everything dies down. They wait until it's not on the radar. And then they like to work under cover of darkness.
Well, that's what I've been waiting on. I've been waiting for that 6 a.m., red dots in the bedroom window for 2.5 years.
Card. Yeah. So you mentioned you live in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I could not possibly let this opportunity go to ask you about the most underrated band of all time outside of Tommy James and the Shondells, the Connells, based in Raleigh, North Carolina. You kind of stunned me the other day when you were on with Pat and myself, and you mentioned that you played golf with a member of the band before. That's awesome. So you play golf then is another takeaway from that.
Yeah, actually, golf used to be one of my obsessions before the well, let's just say the decline in my golf handicap began with my divorce.
Oh no!
And the loss of your clubs.
Well, the loss of a lot of spendable cash, flow. But but I used to play golf 3 to 5 times a week.
Wow.
I had gotten my lowest my handicap ever got down was 2.4. I was a member at Raleigh Country Club for years, and it was the last course that Donald Ross designed. Actually, he died in the middle of the construction of Raleigh Country Club back in 1948. And so some of the guys there were Connells were members there. I played a couple of rounds with one of the guys. Not we weren't ever buddies or anything, but we knew that they were there. And then we had a one of the entertainment lawyers from Raleigh was the long term and still is of Hootie and the Blowfish and those guys. And so he would invite all of those characters in. So we would see Hootie come out and play at the golf club on occasion.
That's cool. That's really cool. So
Can I ask a question?
no.
Who are the Connells?
See, you're
I've never heard of them. I'm sure they're great. I've just never heard of the Connells.
Yeah.
Which I don't have a problem admitting my.
I
Hey,
gotcha. I'll
I've
send you
never heard
some.
of the Tedeschi Trucks band before about 2 weeks ago, and I love them. So
Oh, I don't know. I'm not familiar. Why don't you send me some stuff from them, and I'll send you some Connells. Hey, Brad, what are the chances of like an incident with your nose bleeding during this? Because I've heard
it could
there's some
happen.
issues on that end.
It could happen. I'm either dying of a disease, or it's just dry air. I'm going with dry air because in the past month I've had, I don't know, 2 or 3 that are just. And in my lifetime, I've had a lot of bloody noses. I've just never had them start randomly and
Yeah.
then like a faucet, which is you start to the point where you're going, how much blood do I have in me?
Right? No, bro. I feel like so I go to Colorado quite frequently, and I feel like I don't know. Did I cross the threshold? Am I now a man? Am I an honorary Coloradoan or whatever the heck you would
Did
call that?
did you
Because
get a
the last
nosebleed?
time I went, I didn't get a nosebleed. The
Oh,
the
wow.
dozen times before, like clockwork, man. And so I don't know. Maybe that's
I have these
I've
standing
graduated.
by, these Nampons. They're called bleed stops, and they will
nose,
stop a nosebleed
nose,
in seconds.
Oh, good.
nose
So
tampons, right?
nose
Nose
tampons.
tampons, but
Tampons.
yeah, they're
So no
actually, I
chance that
think they do sell a brand name Nampon. These happen to be bleed stop. Leanne says
wait,
they
is this like the Walmart? This is like Equate Nampons?
could be. Could be. There's like one little, I can feel, I want to open it so bad, but it's
No,
like
bro.
they're
No false
individually
alarm,
sealed.
because then you'll need them one time.
I know, but I want to see
So,
what it's like in
no,
there.
it's cool. Well,
It
no,
feels
you
like an
just
earplug.
make sure you're recording, make sure you're rolling when you
Right,
do have to
right,
use them.
right.
But so okay, so you have those on standby. There's no
We
chance
have
you
these on
bleed out
standby.
during the conversation
Oh,
today.
yeah.
That's
So
Do they
if I
do
duck
they
out, it
make
looks like I've been murdered.
do they make a napkin version of that in case just for
That's
choice?
but those are so much more uncomfortable, and your
Oh.
nose just, it's tough, and the adhesive gets on your cheeks.
Well, and you have to wear a belt with them, right? So
Right, you do.
Oh
Some of them,
no.
well, not the ones with wings; those just attach to your ears. So those are different.
Okay, so before we started the live stream, we started to just talk offhand here, and I was like, no, we got to talk to the audience about this. 'Cause I had mentioned how I had an encounter with a neighbor who was that mistakenly got my mail, and they were intimidated by a dog barking and a sign in front of the house. And I was like, oh, that good. I'm glad that worked, because this couple that was giving me this piece of mail was standing way out at the road. We just put your mail there. We don't want any trouble. Cool. All right. The compound effect is working here. So when I mentioned that to you, you told a story to Steve and I that was just like, what in the world?
It's
Please
weird.
share with it, because I cut you short. I didn't want to hear anymore. I was like, no, just tell us when you tell the audience. What
It's
happened
just
at your house?
it's happened a couple of times, and I don't know what. And actually, the Tobies, who the Tobies,
I do. Not the Tobies.
they kind of did the opposite thing. And the listeners of my program know the stories of a couple of times I've been sitting in the front room, and the door will open, and I will have been napping, and it's the middle of the afternoon likely, and the door opened, and I'm kind of groggy, and I look up, and the first time it was an old man and his wife. At least I think they were married. I don't know, but they just walked into the house, and he's like, "Hey, Kevin, looks like you've done on." First of all, I'm thinking I'm not Kevin, and secondly, who the hell are you people? But it's just such a weird when they walk. And he's like, "Oh, you've redone the place," and then the wife walks in and says, "Bob, I don't think this is Kevin's house."
Oh
It's over
no,
me on the couch. And, hey,
bro.
and they're like, "Oh, sorry," and they and it happened a second time with I think
They're
it was a
lucky not to have
family.
been shot, bro.
Well, I was napping both times, so luckily I didn't get shot. I mean, to be quite honest with you, I mean, I felt kind of stupid that I hadn't. That's Taylor Swift.
That wasn't supposed to come up yet.
Well,
We're gonna get to that. Oh
yeah.
gosh.
No, but the second time it happened, it was I can't remember if it was a family, whatever it was. The same. They walked in and they're like, "Hey, where's the? Oh, you're not." Nope.
Bro.
But here's the thing, because it looks like some of the other, structures in this neighborhood, the Tobys were going to stay here last time they came here, the time before it anyway, they ended up 2 streets over and
Oh,
walking into somebody else's house.
What, do you guys have locks on the doors of that neighborhood? What's the problem?
We trust each other a lot here.
Ooh, we're past
we
that
used
phase
to.
in America. You're gonna need to transition with the rest of us.
Yeah. No, now it's
Oh.
we're also, plus I have the attack cat back here, Doc Kitty. So
Yeah,
it's just it's kind of strange when people just walk straight on in. And luckily, they weren't here they were just here to, as far as I know, just sorry.
I'm kind of disappointed that we've never seen Doc Kitty on one of these live streams, because I mean,
he's sitting right here. You can see him.
I don't see him. It's all dark and stuff. Yeah. Oh no, don't disturb if he's comfortable. Because when if you got a pet with you, you gotta put him in the frame, right, Matilda? Okay.
He's been in the frame the whole time.
I can't see back there. It's dark.
Well, he prefers it in the dark, and he just sits back there.
And he's probably like, why are you disturbing me?
Well, he entered a fugue state yesterday when Brandon Morse was on. And Brandon noted that the Doc Kitty had sat up in the chair and was just like staring straight ahead into space. And he was kind of concerned that he was, going catatonic or something that I did there.
Or transforming into, no, that was better than what I had to say.
Right.
I was going to make a Joe Biden pun, but no, yours is better.
That too. But he's been sitting back there. It's just a little darker back there.
Okay. Oh, now I see him. Yeah. Okay. Hey, buddy.
Steve, where's your animal?
Right. Yeah. Where's your,
Well, I'm actually in Keith's,
That's no excuse. That's no excuse. You didn't bring an animal.
He's surrounded by them.
Actually, what I've been digging through the drawers looking for a bottle of scotch.
No.
But
no. Don't.
You should be able to find all kinds of stuff in his
drawers.
Don't
dig too deeply there, please. Okay. So, I'm glad you have that available, because there might be
the Doc Thompson Memorial Innuendo Bell.
Oh wow!
From and Monday it's 5 years.
Oh my gosh! Wow, it's been 5 years.
On Monday, it is 5 years since he went jogging.
Wow.
Well,
I know. Every time if he came through the door, I'd punch him in the face first and then hug him. But, yep.
Well, thanks for, I guess we'll call it a day. We're good now.
All right, we're good. It's been good talking to y'all. We'll see you next
time. So I want to talk about this bill in Congress. And don't panic, everyone, just because you saw Taylor Swift there on the screen.
I, by the way, can't find the nudes. just as a matter of fact,
I bet you have gone looking.
As a journalist, I would. Well, I'm not a journalist, but as somebody who would like to investigate this, when they came out, it's all these deep fake naked pictures of Taylor Swift. I'm like, where?
Okay. So in fact, there was a time, I think it was Saturday, that you couldn't even search for her name on Twitter.
I can't find any of these pictures. I don't think they exist.
Well, so that's our boat ramp into the topic, is that all these deep fakes, these porn deep fakes of her were circulating, I guess, on Twitter, maybe other social media sites, I don't know, over the weekend. And so now there's this Defiance Act that's in Congress right now. Yeah, do we need more laws for anything, honestly?
No.
You can apply that across the board. But it's a bipartisan group of senators. Oh boy,
this is a crock of crap.
And let me read this paragraph, and then you tell us why this is a crock of crap, Brad Staggs. A bipartisan group of U.S. senators introduced a bill on Tuesday that would criminalize the spread of non-consensual sexualized images generated by artificial intelligence. The measure comes in direct response to the proliferation of pornographic AI-made images of Taylor Swift on X, formerly Twitter, in recent days. How long are they going to keep doing the X, formerly Twitter? That's a different topic. Anyway, so why is it a crock of crap, Brad?
Number one, how do you define AI generated pornographic images of somebody? I mean, that doesn't look like Taylor Swift to me. I mean, there's a lot of he said, she said stuff going on, and it's the define pornography. Well, I can't, but I can tell you when I see it. How it's a slippery slope. We're revenge porn is already, isn't that illegal to begin with?
Yeah. But I love
Wouldn't
this.
this fall
If
under
you
that?
possess these images,
Mhm.
right? Like you could be guilty if they determine you had planned on distributing it. Well, what does that mean? If you find one and you plan on sharing it with your friends, and all of a sudden now you're even more of a criminal.
Well,
This is you
the,
don't give the federal government more power.
Well,
who
they've already done that with with teenagers that have shared topless photos or dick pics or whatever of themselves,
Mhm.
and then it gets outside of their little circle of friends,
Right.
and suddenly they're
Mhm.
marked for the rest of their lives as being distributors of
child,
child
child
pornography, and
porn.
they have to register as sex offenders at 14 years old,
That's
and so this is
crazy.
just opening the door. But I'm more worried. Let me say this. I'm less worried about that particular paragraph than I am about the 800 other pages that will accompany that bill,
Yep.
because that's what they do with this legislation is
Yep.
they give the save the the cute little seals
Mhm.
bill of 2023 and then put 2,000 pages of regulations,
Mhm.
additional spending, freedom stripping laws in those additional pages, but they can get it passed by everybody going, oh yes, we definitely don't want AI fakes of people,
Right. And you don't want a campaign ad next election cycle coming up and says he voted against protecting children from
Right.
online
that's
pornography.
that's exactly what they'll do.
That's what all of this legislation, everything the government is doing as of late. I don't trust them anyway, but they're going down this road. They're creating all of these sticky traps, basically. The dude who just got sentenced, was it yesterday? The guy who the WikiLeaks dude, Jacob
Oh yeah, I
Sharkey.
can never remember his name.
I
I know what
can't
you're
either.
saying.
But he got the 40 years for giving giving WikiLeaks a bunch of documents.
Huh?
But do you know what they found?
I know what they found, and I
Found
don't
him
believe
guilty
for
of
a
in
second
I
that
don't either.
I know exactly where you're going.
Kitty
Please say
porn.
exactly what I'm thinking, Brad.
It's kid. They convicted him last year of finding of having kitty porn,
Yep.
which is a crock of crap.
And so people that see that and that at first are like, wait a second, I kind of like the WikiLeaks thing. I
Thank
think
you.
Julian Assange, I think he should be released. And also, oh wait, oh this guy had
Yeah,
child porn. Oh well, then throw him and
that's
sell
yep.
him. Yeah.
We've already done this with my own legal team because of what I'm going through right now, and the fact that I'm pissing off the government, because that's who I'm spending 90% of my investigative time right now, is actually investigating government agencies and their own malfeasance. So we have initiated the process of actually looking at my devices and having them forensically checked to make sure that we don't have either some sort of spyware, or more importantly, that they have not put some sort of kitty porn onto my devices,
Yep.
because that would be the easiest way to get me. I've been very open about it. A, I didn't commit suicide, and B, I don't do child porn. Let's just
Right.
start
Thank you.
there.
Right.
And then when we're talking about AI photos, do not think for a second, it has not crossed my mind that they can't come up with videos of me in the Capitol doing something that could be created. So fortunately, because I have been granted access to the Capitol CCTV viewing room, we have harvested my entire day. Me and two other Blaze analysts have actually gone in and harvested my entire day in the Capitol on CCTV, so that if they ever try to pull that crap on me, we have the originals already.
What's a shame of all this is that every American needs to look at their devices. Like every conservative American needs to look at their government in this light, because there is
It
no
sucks.
links to what I did. And you said it early on, Steve, and it's exactly right. This is Soviet America. We're living in Soviet America now. And the great point there, Trauma Mama, they planted it like they planned on doing to Cheryl Atkinson. Remember when her computer turned on in the middle of the night? I know you guys know this.
That's right.
We used to do shows for HGTV 100 years ago, and I remember late 90s sitting in one of the conference rooms at Scripps Networks in Knoxville, and we were having a meeting. I had my laptop there, and everybody else, of course, had their laptops. I knew the IT guy, the head of IT. Well, he had a twisted sense of humor, so he would like tunnel into my laptop on their network because I was using their Wi-Fi,
Right.
and bloop, put naked pictures on my desktop.
Oh no. Oh no.
And it was, I mean, it was nothing, it wasn't kiddie porn. It was just
Right.
like a, topless Playboy,
Still.
whatever it
Yeah.
was. But he was able to do that. And when you think about it, they could do
Anything.
they can do any. That was 25 years ago.
Right. Right. And you know what they're so pissed off about? The feds who got this guy for child porn, right?
Yep.
They're pissed because he dared to expose the illegal behaviors of this government.
Yep.
You don't do that. You don't show what the NSA is doing to Americans. You don't show how we're spying domestically. You don't do that, or we'll make your life a living hell. And you can't even look at Steve's case. You can't even walk in the Capitol. If you're associated with the wrong people and we don't like something about you, then we're gonna make your life a living hell. It's
Do you, Steve, do you have to be do you have to live your life extra carefully, dotting T's, crossing I's, that sort of thing with everything? Do you, I mean, you feel like that's what you have to do because of being on that radar?
I mean, obviously I feel that way every day, but it's I always go back to saying what we have talked about earlier is that, show me the man, I'll show you the crime.
Right.
And that's an unavoidable situation. If they want you, they are going to get you. That is not avoidable. The only thing that you can do is be as upfront as you can about everything, and that's why I say what I say is that it doesn't matter whether I'm talking on an encrypted phone call or using encrypted applications for my chats with other people that I'm sharing information with, whether I'm talking to congressional investigators or whatever. I just always operate as though I am being listened to, and I can't function any other way right now. But it doesn't matter. If they look, I'm a lifelong musician. I've got skeletons in my closet that go back 40 years. What are they going to drag up? What are they going to do?
And who can they drag up that will say, well, yeah, Steve, he groped me in the movie theater, when we went out on a date, and
we know that you don't need evidence anymore to lose $80 million in a civil judgment, because all you have to do is get the right jury or the right judge, and it doesn't matter anymore. We're watching this in these January 6 cases we're seeing it in real time every day. These are I hate boring people to death with statistics and numbers, but these are simple ones right here. In the January 6 cases, the government has won 99.75% so far. Okay, 99.75%. Whereas in non-January 6 cases in DC, where all these other cases are happening, they win just over 60%. So they already have a winning record in DC anyway.
Right.
But you look at the disparity, and it tells you right there how prejudicial these juries and these judges are against these particular defendants related to January 6th. It's overwhelming. And the data is that so many of these people should have been granted change of venue out of DC for these cases.
And yeah, go ahead, Brad.
I was going to say Patrisse Cullors, one of the founders of Black Lives Matter. She was doing an interview. This is back in 2020, 2021, somewhere into there. I watched an interview with her, and she said, the justice system in this country is broken. And I was like, ding, ding, ding. I'm with you on that one. There's our common ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is broken to the core. I don't trust it even a little bit at all.
No.
Period. That's dangerous now.
Yep.
When people
that's why Trump has actually been having some success with black organizations, black groups, black individuals who are going, I relate to that guy. I relate to what he's going through right now, and that's why his numbers are up there among that demographic.
Well, no, according to CNN, a poll they just put out, he's Biden's pulling within a couple of points of him. So, yeah. So take that one and shove it, huh?
Yeah.
Can we just agree, going back to the genesis of this conversation with the Taylor Swift and the AI and the deep fakes, that genie, that's out of the box. That's our new reality now.
Did
This
you
is a
see what I
part
just
of our
sent you,
life now.
Keith?
You know, I
I just
did.
texted
I
you.
yeah, I did. I can't
Well,
wait to really
well,
delve
no,
into that
and
later.
here's what it is, because you can see a nipple in it, which is why but this is from GQ from 2016, and
Wait,
it
what?
is Kanye West's
Oh,
famous video features a naked Taylor Swift, sort of.
sort of. What is
So
so?
it's a look-alike.
Oh, from 8 years ago, huh?
Yes.
Oh,
So
wow.
what do you do about that? I mean, that's somebody that looks like Taylor
Right.
Swift.
Oh my
He's got,
gosh. You're right.
I mean,
You're
that's the
absolutely right.
same thing. You
There's
know,
no
you
way to
can't,
get around.
right. What do you do at that point? You mean you can't look like Taylor Swift and go make naked pictures?
Boy, it's a burden we all have. Yes, that one.
I mean,
No, you're right. I mean, you're absolutely right. I want to move
I
on
like
to.
Taylor Swift. For the record, I like her music.
Oh wow.
Wow.
I do.
That's probably the most important admission anybody will make on broadcast media
I want the
today.
feds that are
I
monitoring Steve on this. I want them
I
to start
like her.
investigating you after saying
She
that.
writes catchy songs. When I lived in Nashville, my neighbor, his ex-wife co-wrote the first album with Taylor.
Oh wow, how
And
cool
so,
is that?
cha-ching.
No kidding.
But
gosh.
and I think Taylor is ignorant. She's either ignorant or she's evil. I prefer to believe she's ignorant.
Oh, that's where I land. But if she's evil, then she's pulling off ignorant beautifully.
Right.
Okay, so let's go to a Wisconsin Goodwill where you got to see this thing. They found a World War II era grenade in a donation box. Whoopsie. Wow. Look at that thing. Here are the details. This was Ashland, Wisconsin. Here's the manager of the Goodwill. It says that we don't know exactly where it came from because our donations are put in bins. Get your bell. Get your bell ready. Quote, when you put your hand in, you never know what you're going to grab.
You know, that's what they say at the TSA when they're going to go up there and just, do this and go this way and rub across this way.
Just looking for explosives, sir.
We could find, you might have something explosive in your pants, and we need to make sure that you don't.
Yeah, right this way, please. Extra screening for you. The explosive was found by a sorting staff at the store nearby Ashland, Wisconsin. Now, if you've ever made donations to the Goodwill, that had to have been
I would have bought that. I would have bought that in a heartbeat.
Oh, you would have bought it? Yeah,
yep.
You purchased it? Yeah.
Yep.
I kind of want to see the video of the crew discovering it. Let's see. So it's a Japanese type 99 hand grenade from World War II. It doesn't look like a typical grenade, but it had a pin. Oh boy. As soon as it was discovered, they put it out in the dumpsters and called the police. Yeah. The dumpster will stop it.
I wonder what this does.
I mean, I don't know what you do. I don't know how crowded of an area. Somebody go to Google Maps and look up 1810 Lakeshore Drive.
Pretty smart that they put it in the dumpster.
Yeah, 1810 Lakeshore Drive. I want to know how
but
dense this area is.
Worth some dollars. I mean,
right? Goodwill could use that cash. Am I right?
I would think so.
But they won't sell it for value. They'll sell it for a fraction of the price, and they're not going to make what they could get.
Huh.
Wait a second. Based on the explosion after detonation of their grenade, they believed it to be live prior to that. So they blew it up.
Oh, so now it's done. Yeah.
So now it's worthless. It's just a bunch of crap. Why didn't
It's actually kind of like the DNC pipe bomb that I've seen the videos to. Oh, sorry. I just gave you another exclusive, Keith. Sorry.
I love it. I love it.
We haven't showed it yet, but it's coming.
You can find more lethal crap at the Wisconsin Goodwill.
So let me ask you guys. I go to Goodwill all the time, quite frankly. There's some good stuff there. Have you guys ever found any? I haven't found an original copy of the Constitution necessarily.
Amateur.
But
I found two things at Goodwill that were fantastic.
What's happening here? Where did the balloons? What?
That
Hold
wasn't
on.
me.
That's the
Happy
FBI
birthday,
saying,
Steve.
hey, I just want to let you know we're
No idea
watching.
where that came
It
from.
may or may not be your birthday, but from here on out, February 2nd is your second birthday.
Happy
Thank you,
birthday.
thank you. Whoever gave me that acknowledgement. But no, you know, I'm a trumpet player. That was what I used to do for a living, and so one day I was in the Goodwill and I came up on this horn, a trumpet that had been just like the same day had been left. It was obvious. You know, you can tell from the case and what was in it that it was a very well-to-do family. They had bought a professional horn for some young kid as his first horn, something they should not have done. It was kind of abused. I paid $40 for this trumpet. I knew what it was. The Goodwill people didn't know what it was. I paid $40 for it, took it to my horn technician. He put $100 in it to get it back up to snuff, and then I turned around and sold it for $1,200. So I made a quick profit on that horn. Yeah.
Bro,
Nice.
I'm proud of you. Were you grinning ear to ear when you were in the checkout?
Heck yeah.
Like,
I mean,
boy, look at this crazy thing. I'll just take this, please. Do you want a bag? Nope, I'm out of here.
Goodbye.
That was it.
Wow, that's awesome, bro. So, I mentioned earlier, I used to interview people. Brad, did we do a two-parter, you and I, for At the Mic?
I think we did. I think we had a lot to discuss.
Yeah. So At the Mic show, originally I would sit down with people and talk about their life. And Steve, you'd be a prime candidate for a guest on that show if I ever get back to doing that. But because it sounds like you've lived multiple lives to this point. But my buddy who I grew up with, Rick Goins, episode 59, he tells the story in that conversation of how he cleaned out a whole bunch of junk from his house and he got rid of all sorts of stuff, old CDs and everything. And then I don't know, a few weeks later, so he went and donated them to the Goodwill. A few weeks later, his wife comes home and says, "Hey, I found this CD I think you might like." Oh, yeah? Did you? Yeah, I was just down at the Goodwill. And
I bought a whole bunch of them.
Oh, you might like this. Yeah, and you could tell that I just donated that, Michelle, but appreciate it. So anyway,
It was a nice thought, though.
Rick, my buddy, he's going to be here for the eclipse coming up on April 8th here in Dallas. We've got multiple people showing up. I don't know about you, Brad, but you have some people in your life that are going to be coming to town for the eclipse on April 8th.
We put up the eclipse tree, and we do our little dance around the eclipse tree.
Here's what I feel. So I already preemptively feel bad for all of our guests that are coming to Hotel Malinak. It's that I promise you now, it's going to be cloudy because the eclipse is supposed to pass. If you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, Dallas-Fort Worth is prime location for so make sure you're here, Steve, if you're not behind bars. The eclipse is supposed to be right too soon. Right over DFW.
Federal prison or not.
So anyway, I guarantee you it's going to be cloudy now. Sorry, Steve. That wasn't very nice, was it? Okay. So
I've done eclipse chasing before. I've actually done that. So it's cool.
That's cool. It's going to be going from the southwest to the northeast on April 8th.
It's supposed to be what, 4 minutes long or something crazy?
Oh, get full blown solar eclipse or total eclipse.
Yeah, of the heart.
Why?
You're welcome.
I swear, I can't. Part of me can't wait for April 8th, and part of me can't wait for April 8th to pass, so that I can make reference to that without the song being.
Well,
sung.
and think of, just be glad we're not alive like 500 years ago, because imagine the mayhem that would be taking place on April 8th.
Well,
they didn't know about it, really. I mean, they didn't.
Does anybody think that the Mayans actually got it right? That the world actually did end in 2012, and since then we've been living in an alternate reality? Because that would make sense now in hindsight.
I can get behind that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more convinced than ever that we are in fact in the Matrix now. So I just lived that life. Yeah.
You know,
Seriously.
You say that in jest, but I swear to you, I'm starting to think it really is possible.
No, I'm there. I've crossed the Rubicon. I'm done.
It's like with the quantum mechanics and stuff and the double slit experiment and all that.
Yeah, all of it.
Oh, I don't know what you're referring to,
I'm
honestly,
with you.
Brad.
You
But
don't?
it sounds like you need to do a presentation here sometime in the future.
The double slit experiment will blow your mind.
Okay,
I've
I
got
can't. I've never heard of that.
I've got your whiteboard here. I can start doing the mathematics.
Yeah, I need to talk to you about that whiteboard. So it kind of cuts off the shameless plug, but that's okay since we're actually at the channel right now. There you go. YouTube.com/@the-mic with Keith. That's only the quality
quantum
graphics.
You're familiar with the quantum entanglement, Keith?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a lot there.
What?
I'm telling you, I want a presentation. I want to start from scratch. I don't even want to start Googling right now.
I took you as smarter than that.
I'm not, bro. I'm sorry to breaking news.
I am
I'm not. Okay. A parent is suing a Hooters restaurant in Orlando after a child slipped on mold outside.
Wait. We're getting off of quantum mechanics to talk about
No.
boobs.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Every time. So wait, you're gonna do a presentation of whatever it is you're talking about, like this double slit. Oh, by the way, there's something that you've got on the screen here that you've got in the queue. Is that anything I need to put?
Oh,
up
you
there?
were gonna, yeah, but it was something I found at a Goodwill because I thought you were gonna ask me what I found at a
Yeah, I
Goodwill.
forgot to ask you because I forgot
I
that I
mean,
cared.
you got a
Sorry.
couple of guests here. You got
What
me
is
and you
this?
got Steve. You didn't ask Steve what he found at a Goodwill, and I'm sure he had something ready. And
Well,
I
he
had
did. He
something all
talked
queued
about
up.
the trumpet. Remember that? And he sold it
Right,
for 1,200.
right.
And
You
then
didn't
what
get a
did you
picture
find?
of it though.
What is that?
Well, this is actually a fishbowl.
Oh no!
It's
Oh
an
no!
old fishbowl, but here's the thing: they were used by these magic companies because I buy and restore and sell old magic tricks.
Yes,
And
yes, you still do
I
that,
haven't,
right?
yeah, I haven't had much time in the past few months, but yes, I still like to do it, and I still have some projects I'm working on. And there were a couple that used this fishbowl, and this is you've seen one of these before. It's just you've probably seen 100 of them. They were big in the 70s, and it's just a fishbowl. It's a glass fishbowl that you put fish in, and some of them are like 10 inches around, and some of them are bigger, and they're about, I don't know, 6 inches tall. They were they were dime store. You go to Woolworths and you get them for $0.25. They were junk. But that's why some of these magic companies back then, they would use the cheap stuff like this to make the trick, whatever it was, if it was an appearing goldfish or whatever. So in restoring one of the tricks that used one of these, I was at the Goodwill by the abode, and I saw one of these, and I don't know what got into it. I didn't get it that day, but I mean, I found it. I had my hands on it. For whatever reason, I didn't get it, and I ended up having to buy another one, and it was $50,
Bro.
which pissed me off because I would have had it for
How much was the original one?
like $1.25.
What? Why'd you do that?
I don't know. To this day I can't, because
So
I'm not nearly as smart as I thought you were.
I mean, think about it. $1.25, like
versus 50. I know, it's crazy.
I'm kind of upset now for you.
Yeah. So you guys both had like success stories. Mine was a story of failure from Goodwill.
I don't have any success stories. Just buy cheap clothes there. That's all my success story. I seriously, why can't I find an old picture? That's the problem. The reason I have never found an old copy of the Declaration of Independence or something like that is because I don't buy picture frames. I don't buy, oh, that's a nice painting, and then you tear it off in the back, and look what was hiding back there. So
my ex-wife did that when we were in New Hampshire. We're walking through this old antique store, and she's like, oh, that's a so-and-so. A what? She goes over, buys this painting for $20, and it's a $500. She gets it home. It's a $500 painting. So kind of a sore subject with me. I know.
Oh my gosh. Hey, look at the boy blob. Accosted by Chuck Todd over a tie in Goodwill. He said he saw it first. Come on now. Stop it. I don't believe anything the boy blob says. Boy blob has taken on different.
Do you still have that trumpet?
No, I sold that. I sold it for $1,200. I got it for $40.
Right. Yeah,
you sold it for $1,200.
Yeah, that's a success story. That's awesome. Yeah. All right, do you want me to go talk about this kid that got hurt at Hooters?
Oh yeah, you said Hooters, so we have to go down that path.
A parent is suing a Hooters restaurant in Orlando after a child slipped on mold outside the business, according to a lawsuit filed last week.
I think it wasn't milk.
While
Slipped
looking
on
for
the pole. He slipped
the
on the
mold
pole.
out. So they were looking for the entrance to the restaurant. He, quote, suddenly and unexpectedly slipped and fell due to an excessive amount of mold emanating from a downspout on the premises. That's what the lawsuit reads. As a result, the child was injured. Court records show, however, the lawsuit doesn't specify the exact nature of those injuries. Due to the fall, the lawsuit accuses the restaurant of negligence, claiming that the business failed to put up warning signs or properly maintain the premises. Listen to this. Listen to this. Quote, the child, this is what the lawsuit says, the child suffered bodily injury, okay, mental and or psychological disorders. Gotta pick one of them. And resulting pain and suffering, disability, disfigurement, mental anguish, loss of capacity for the enjoyment of life, expensive hospitalization, medical and nursing care and treatment. Wow, that's a lot happening with that fall. That's
That
Did he fall before they went into the Hooters, or when they were
yeah.
out
They
of?
were looking for the entrance. They said, like, I guess doors aren't obvious on Hooters. $50,000 in damages is
Did
what
they?
they
Well,
say.
but did they go ahead and eat and go in?
That I don't know. That I don't
That's
have
what I want to know, because that
page
that
two.
makes a difference right there.
So
Come
I'm
on.
just wondering how old this child is. Why are you taking a child to Hooters in the first place?
Okay,
That seems
so
to be a bigger issue here.
all right, so my son is 25 years old, and so over Christmas, my son, my daughter, and I, we got together. We got an Airbnb down in Wilmington, North Carolina, and
Nice.
then my daughter had to go back home, but my son could. She lives in Virginia, and my son lives in South Carolina. So he and I went and spent a couple extra days down in Myrtle Beach. And there's you know what Twin Peaks is? That's kind of a Hooter like
It's like a Hooters,
place.
yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Well,
They
they're
smell
in
good.
North. Yeah, they're in North Myrtle Beach. There's a Hooters and a Twin Peaks that share a parking lot together. And I'm going, okay, why would anybody choose Hooters over Twin Peaks to begin with? If
Wait
you
a
know what
minute.
I'm saying.
Is that a big rivalry? We should do a poll. I wish you could do a poll in the comments here.
All I can tell you is that I have made my own personal value judgment here, and not only does Twin Peaks win every time in terms of the quality of the service, but this particular Twin Peaks actually had a cigar lounge inside the Twin.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I'd never seen one, and so both my son and I smoke cigars, so we chose the Twin Peaks for two different reasons.
And because the food's superior is what you're saying.
Yeah. It was a superior experience.
But really, though, I mean, doesn't Hooters have great wings? That's what I keep being told.
I'm not sure that the wings are the attraction.
Did you just do you just go to Hooters for the articles? Is that what you're saying?
Correct. That's correct. For the menu, I only go to read the menu.
I only go to look at the
That
menu.
is awesome. So I got to thinking, like, this kid is me. Like, I'm the kid that falls down and gets bodily injury, mental and or psychological disorders, and resulting pain and suffering, disfigurement, mental anguish, goes on and on. Because that I figure out new ways to injure myself on a regular basis. Yep, go ahead.
Here's the thing. Did you notice the date on this? August 8th, 2020. That was like at the height of stupid.
Oh, did you
Well, that's why there was mold, because they had nobody cleaning up.
Right.
That must be it.
Was the kid wearing a mask? That could have protected him from all harm.
What city or town? What city was this in?
Orlando.
Oh, well, Orlando was open. So Florida was open, so they had no issues.
An excessive amount of mold emanating from a downspout.
So
how do you not find the front door of the damn place?
So many people watching right now may know this story, and most probably don't. But well, first of all, I'm accident prone, as I mentioned. But in October of 2017, I specifically remember that was when I injured myself with the hedge trimmers, just the other side of this wall here. And so what I did is, well, I was a dumbass. And so what I did is the cord from, as I was cutting, kind of dangled kind of close. And so I reached over to move it out of the way so it didn't get cut by the hedge trimmer. And I guess I was just a one-track mind idiot And I just reached through it. That was not a good day. It was not a good day.
Did it
And
start?
so, no, it didn't. No. So I nearly chopped off two of the fingers. Nearly, third one was injured. But the doctor. No one was home, of course. So I run through the house to get my keys, which are literally as far away from where I was as they could possibly be. And I fell down. Oh, I had to grab this very clean, by the way, gentlemen. This old radio station. Everybody that's worked at radio stations, Brad, how many T-shirts do you own from radio stations you've worked at or shared a building with? That they're my rags in the garage, right?
That's because the things you could get for a T-shirt were fabulous.
At Twin Peaks. So I grabbed it just to use it as like a tourniquet, just press it down, and then the dogs are freaking out, like, why is he running through the house and all this stuff? And I grab my keys and I drive myself to the emergency room and all this stuff, and I have to get a tetanus shot, which in hindsight I regret. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But what the rest of the story in this, because they sewed me up, and it takes so much. And when they sew your hands, the doctor said, I've never seen fingers this damaged that were still attached. Well, thank you for that. And there's still some feeling issues here. But when they get ready to do surgery, they have to stick the needle in between the webbing there between the finger. Oh, it was a nightmare. And I said, are you sure the doctor's ready? Because I have a high threshold, not for pain, but for it takes, like, when I go to get the dentist and stuff, the Novocaine, man, they just have to keep piling it on. And so I said, he better be ready. And when he came back, it had already faded off. And so I felt it was Civil War time, like I felt the pain of the needle and threading of the stitches. But here's the story that I don't think I've ever shared publicly here, like in a forum like this or on Twitter or anything. Maybe I have. I can't remember.
Safe space.
Okay. Yeah.
Safe space.
So I had, before I did that, the electrical cord on the hedge trimmer, I had cut one, right? And so it popped, that's when the sparks actually happened,
Right.
So I was like, oh, come on, man, these things are not cheap.
No.
So you're going to love this, Brad. You're going to love this. So I laid the torn up cord on the driveway with the hedge trimmer. I took a picture of it. I drafted a tweet. I was going to send it once I got done, whatever. And the tweet, I started to draft a tweet that said, hey, I didn't know that this is how I was going to die, but something like that. But boy, I just had an encounter. Well, that tweet was never sent, because when I went back with a different cord, that's why I was so single focused on this cord dangling down that I was reaching for, because I didn't want to happen again. Well, it didn't happen again. I didn't cut the electrical cord, at least. Man, I'm an idiot. Anyway, so that's one of so many ways that I've injured myself. I don't know, Steve, have you ever hurt yourself in a fun way like that, or are you just Mr. Coordinated?
In a fun way.
I'm actually pretty damn coordinated, but I have the same. I apparently have the same issue you have with anesthetics, though, man. Anytime I have a procedure done, they have to juice me up twice as much than normal people, and in fact, since we're being very transparent here, I have a almost lifelong association with kidney stones. We'll just say that.
Oh, so me too, bro. I'm there with you.
Yeah. So I've had to have had them blown up a couple times, surgically and that sort of thing. And so the last time I went in for a procedure, and they had to knock me out, full anesthesia. I told the anesthesiologist, I said, okay, I'm telling, because he comes in to give me the briefing, how they do, and so no, I ended up giving him the briefing. I said, okay, no, I said, and so he's like smirking at me, and
yeah,
well, okay, I'm the pro here. I'll be and so when I came out, a few hours later, and I come out of the anesthetic and I'm starting to wake up in the recovery room, they don't usually come. The anesthesiologist doesn't come back. This guy came back, and he came back and he goes, dude, he said, you're exactly right. I said, I told you. And he said, no. He said, man, he goes, I started, giving you the juice there, and you just would not go out. And I'm like going, what the heck? And so because I kept pumping, he said, I've had to put in about 2 times what I would normally do a guy your size.
You're right. I mean, that happens with me with alcohol too.
Was
It's
that like
like,
the propofol? Is that
What's
what they
that?
were giving you, Steve? The propofol to put you
Well,
to sleep?
I have no idea. But I remember I actually, this is how old I am. I go back to the Middle Ages where they actually would put the mask on you and
oh
drip
yeah,
ether in
oh,
the mask.
oh wow,
In
Man,
the
you are
like
old.
a mesh.
man,
No,
what a
I
right,
remember
Brad?
having that done when I was a kid.
Wow,
That's how
oldie
old.
Olderson here.
No, I mean, I
Was
was
that the 1700s or the 1800s?
18.
Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
I've had conversations with
I
they'll put it on and they expect you just to go right out, and I'll
I
start
would.
talking.
No. It's such a bizarre feeling,
Mhm.
and people today don't have a clue what it's like. But I can remember when I had my tonsils out when I was 5 years old, and I remember they doing it. And to this day, I can still smell the ether,
Oh yeah.
and
Oh gosh. Wow.
and I remember the hallucinogenic effect when it hit because suddenly because I'm looking straight at the ceiling,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden everything starts just spinning. Whoo, and then it all goes out.
Oh, I don't get that cool of effect,
Well,
but I do have.
that's what the ether did
Oh,
for
the
me.
ether. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
so I found this mask. Is
Oh
this
no.
the, is,
Am I
is,
supposed to
well,
put this on the
this is
screen?
because I looked up a face mask with
Yeah.
ether. Is that
There you go.
really?
Yep.
That's
Yep. That's it.
Weird.
wow. So they would stuff that with cotton. They'd put that over your nose
Yep.
and then drip ether on. That is wild.
Isn't that amazing?
Mm-mm.
It's
Seriously,
amazing. For
what decade was this? I've never even heard of this.
I was born during the Eisenhower administration.
All right. All
Well, you
right.
don't look a day over 30 to me,
No,
so
man.
you're well preserved.
That's
I
a
take a
fact.
lot of vitamins.
Yeah.
Dude, that's pretty incredible that
Wow.
that would be the method.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Hey,
just seems so primitive now.
you mentioned kidney stones, and boy, some of my experiences are just horrific, and it could take an entire podcast of me talking about my experiences in
Let's
emergency
do it.
rooms.
Let's
Yeah,
do it.
let's do that.
Oh,
Yeah, you want to
seriously, I can go so deep in
kidney stone talk
the kidney
with
stone wars
Stephen Keith.
that I've been involved in. I can tell stories that will make anybody.
So get this. I have a kidney stone in me right now as we speak. I know this for a fact because I recently had to do a scan. You got two of them in there. So here's what. Let's do this. Okay, okay. You and I got a plan here because I recently learned that I had to look this up. I think it's Space Mountain, where if you sit in the back, they've done a study. I don't know. Probably your tax dollars funded it, but they did a study that said you sit in the back cart. Thank you, Brad's googling. You sit in the back car of Space Mountain and your kidney stone, there's like a 60% chance it'll break up or dislodge or something. And so you and I should go sit in the back of the Space Mountain. Brad, are you finding it? Space Mountain kidney stone
I did
story?
find a couple of them. I read on the internet of riding a roller coaster at Disney World will help you pass kidney stones. Seems far fetched. Blah blah blah. Snopes points out
Oh, no,
if they say
that's
it's false,
Snopes.
it's true. So let's see if they say if it's
Yeah, if Snopes says it's false, then it's absolutely
yeah,
true.
I totally agree. Is the one out said that out of the 3 Disney roller coasters he and his co-researcher tried, only one of the rides achieved the desired result. We used 174 kidney stones, varying shapes, sizes. Big Thunder Mountain was the only one that worked. We tried Space Mountain and the Rock and Roller Coaster both failed. But
Okay, so Thunder
Big
Mountain.
did.
Whatever. I like Thunder Mountain more anyway.
Well, Big
So
Thunder Mountain doesn't exist anymore. No, it's
I
false.
just did
Oh, wait. Hold on. Is that they're not getting rid of
Splash
that?
Mountain.
Oh, I guess I'll ask
Splash
Ed.
Mountain. Splash Mountain.
I just did
Okay,
4 days Amtrak just this week. In the last week, I did 4 days on Amtrak this week.
Oh, you should have passed
And
everything.
Amtrak made one of my 2 stones move. Yes.
Now, how do you know that? Because you feel it differently now?
Yeah, no. Well, see, here
Kidney stone. Save it. We're gonna do a kidney
right.
stone live stream. I can't
We'll
wait
do
to see the 4 people that tune in for that. But no, we should talk about all this.
No, I bet we get tons of people, especially if we can get their comments.
You know what? Bring your kidney stone experience. We will do a live stream where that's all we talk.
And
we'll get a doctor on too.
I promise you, it's well. No, I'll take this back. I take this back. I'm not going to be that guy because you know when you're telling kidney stone stories, you always can you always play top that story. You know, everybody's got a and
That's at the 4th beer.
Today, I have a story nobody can beat.
Oh,
And
well,
I would,
save it. You got to tease it, man.
okay, I'll tell you how bad it was. I'll
Oh
tell
no,
you how,
we
this
got to
is, this
tease
is
it
the
for our
teaser.
live stream
This
for
is the
our
teaser.
kidney stone.
All right, so my urologist, his name, he actually coincidentally has the same last name as I do, Baker. I'm Steve Baker. He's Scott Baker, Dr. Scott Baker. And so about 9 years ago, I had a particular procedure. I'm not gonna. It was kidney stone, where they had to bust it up with a laser because it wouldn't pass. And then there's a follow-up thing that has to be done as a result of that. That's all of that I'm going to give you. So when I went in to have the stent removed, because there's a stent running the full length of my urinary tract, if you know what I'm saying. Okay.
Oh.
All right.
This is my biggest fear, bro.
No, so when I went in to get the stent removed, I had already decided that despite it, regardless of the legal consequences, I was going to punch Dr. Scott Baker in the face. I was going to knock him out in his examination room. And so when I got there, the receptionist, she said, "Oh, Dr. Baker can't be there. He had to go into an emergency surgery. So Dr. So-and-so is going to take out the stent." So I walk into the thing, and Dr. So-and-so happens to be a female doctor, and she's going to, she's got to do the thing. So I'm already going, okay, all right. Oh yeah. All right. That's great. So
I'll see you at Hooters later.
Right. So anyway, so I looked at her,
Oh no.
and I said to her,
oh no.
I said, you probably just kept me out of jail today. She said, "Why is that?" And I said, "Because I was going to punch Dr. Baker in the face today." And she said, "Why?" And to which I said, and this is the tease, I said, "Have you ever heard of morning wood?" And she went, "Oh, you're kidding me."
I just changed my plans on this live stream.
She goes, "Oh, you're kidding me." And I said, "Yeah, no, I'm not." And she goes, I understand. And that's it. That's all the tease you're getting. There you go.
Wow.
That's oof.
Wow.
That's not good. I don't like that. I'm sorry. I feel I'm crossing my legs. So,
Can I share something real quick? Because you guys say kidney stones, but I've never had a kidney stone. But I did. This is maybe like anyway. I was having eggs this morning, and I cracked open 4 eggs.
Wait a minute. Before I put this picture up, I can't really see it. Am I going to regret this?
It's eggs.
Am I going to? Okay. Are we going to ruin eggs for people if I put this
No,
picture up?
no. This is lucky. This is lucky. I looked it up. It's 1 in 1,000 eggs has a double yolk.
Okay. Oh, look at you.
I got a double double yolk egg this morning. So that's as close as I can get to a kidney stone.
That's cool. I'm what a big day.
It was
for you,
weird
Brad.
when it came out. I was like, "Can you eat a double yolk egg?"
Yes.
Have you ever gotten a double yolk egg before? Oh, you have?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a 4-leaf clover, you know?
I've never seen one. That's why I took a picture, because I'm like, I've never seen this before. And it's like, is it, freak? Does it do weird things to your body? Maybe it gives you kidney stones.
Oh, you're going to join the club with us now. It's not fun.
Don't want to.
So before I forget, it just occurred to me another injury of mine that I've got to share. I worked at a country club once, and you spray out the carts with a power washer,
Mm-hmm.
and one time I was flinging the thing around, clearing it out, and I guess like one of the members had where's the bell? No, don't. There it is. So he had left crackers or something in one of the cup holders, like little pieces of cracker, and so like it flew up and then it landed on my shin. And so without thinking, just use the water to get the cracker out of my shin hair. Yeah, I have a scar that's like a squiggly line on my shin now. It's pretty cool because I'm a dumbass. Okay, so real quick here, let's do some rapid fire, gentlemen, shall we? Remember, this is rapid fire. So we're just gonna hit it and go. All right.
Give me a minute to think about it.
No, rapid fire. So Brad, if you could have any job in the world, what would that job be? Remember, you could be an athlete, you could be a singer, rock star, whatever. Don't limit yourself, sir.
Uniform inspector at Twin Peaks.
Very good, Steve.
Wow.
Top that.
I abdicate now. I can't go.
It would ruin
I
it.
think you respect the FBI so much. You wish you could be a federal agent, right?
No, but I will tell you, I've never wanted to be a federal agent,
Mhm.
but I have always wanted to be, the born supremacy guy or one
Yeah,
of those. I,
be a
I would
spy.
love, if I could be that guy, that's the guy I would want to be.
You know what? I thought, man, it kind of be cool to be a spy. If there was a nation that I thought deserved my services. But
Right.
Well, but see, that's what we grew up thinking. It's just
exactly, I know,
but now
man.
we
Ugh.
know, but now we know we live in the matrix, so it doesn't matter.
Mhm. Gentlemen, America is. I just tweeted this out, by the way. If anyone wants to play with this particular rapid fire, America is on its 46th president,
Mhm.
if you count Grover Cleveland twice, as some
Mhm.
people have pointed out. Grover Cleveland, incidentally, the last electable Democrat, but I digress. Okay, so America is on its 46th president. America has 50 states. Will America end up with more presidents than states? Steve?
How many times do we count Obama?
Oh,
That's
that's a good
brilliant.
one. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
he
very
gets
good.
he gets the 44th and the 46th spot on our list.
Uh-huh. Yep.
All right, so how long are we going to survive here as a nation? Are we going to have more presidents than 50?
Ask me again after the first week of November.
Well said.
You think?
Hmm?
I'm just about to ask Steve. Do you think they'll cheat?
Oh, God. Without question.
But we can't. But we're on YouTube. You can't do that. So it's a
yeah.
pie eating contest.
Yeah, but
No,
we're talking about the future. We're not talking about the past. We're talking will
Yeah,
they?
but it's still.
Is it dangerous ground?
You've got to be careful. So let's just consider it pies. Do you think that they will ever substitute another recipe again? Do you think that they will ever get the real recipe in the end?
We should have a new code, like a code language for how to talk
Well,
about November, because we're
And
gonna have to.
I did steal that from Brandon Morse because he kept getting schwacked and eventually
Mhm.
made it a pie eating contest. But I mean, will there ever be a fair pie contest?
Speaking of born supremacy,
By the way, that map behind you, that's the new it's the new nation. Those are the states that have sent aid to Texas to help on the border.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
so speaking of which,
Yes, sir.
so in February of 21, so only 6 weeks after January 6th, I was the first person to actually report on the fact, and it is a fact, that special forces unit of the Army, U.S. Army, was actually embedded in the crowd on January 6th. Okay. And then a year later, Newsweek came out with an article basically validating my findings before they did.
Mhm.
And so in the process of investigating that, I ended up speaking to somebody in that unit, and this is real born supremacy level stuff. And I'm dancing around YouTube, Google right now, so I'm being very careful.
You're very
Understood.
dainty at it too. It's very
And by the
nice.
way, just real quick, for those that may not be aware, we're experimenting today, and it looks like it's also simulcasting on my Twitter feed as well. At
Oh,
Keith Malinak, as you can see on the screen, at Keith Malinak. So if it's easier for you to watch on Twitter, it looks like it has worked. So anyway, continue, please.
So anyway, because they know, because they and the Matrix owners, because they know what I'm looking at and what I'm investigating, and they know where I go because I was actually followed in one of my encounters with this particular individual.
Mhm.
But this particular guy, let's just say he was on the design project for what happened in 2020, and the experiment, or let's say the beta test, took place in a country called Ukraine in 2014.
Mhm.
And that's all I'm going to tell you.
Mhm. Really?
And they know that I know.
The agents assigned to your case are taking notes.
Oh, they already know. I've already told them.
I know.
I talk to them. We have conversations.
Steve,
Do you find yourself talking into
you.
your phone to them? Hey guys.
No, I not only talk to them on their phone, but when I responded to my my grand jury subpoena and I delivered a flash drive of all my January 6th videos, I hand delivered it to my investigative lead agent, and when I handed it to him, I pointed at my finger in his face and I told him, I said, "You know what I'm working on," and I said, "And you need to be on my side." I said, "If you really care about the future of this country and you really care about truth and justice, then you should be working with me."
Too many people are like,
will you give Steve my info? And Steve, I want to talk to you later.
Yeah.
I love pies. I just want to talk about pies because I love, especially apple crumble with the vanilla ice. I love pies. So I would love to discuss that further with you.
Yeah.
All right.
So, what's the next rapid fire question?
Guess somebody said, yeah, boy, rapid fire. Boy, we are breaking land speed records today, gentlemen.
Yeah. Did I answer your question?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So you're saying we're toast before we get to 50
No, pies.
Pies. 40, 50 pies. Brad, avocados, yay or nay?
Oh,
avocados.
Yes.
What was it?
Oh, hell yes.
Really?
Yes.
Steve? Avocados.
See, I actually have tried the whole avocado toast and the avocado hamburgers and all of that. And if we're just talking about sliced avocados, as far as I'm concerned, they're tasteless.
They're tasteless.
Wow.
The texture is gross.
No, they're tasteless.
Everything about an avocado is undesirable.
You're a communist.
No, they're not. They're not repulsive. They're tasteless.
No, they're not. Though the good ones are good.
The texture makes them repulsive.
No, the good ones are good. You just haven't had the right avocado.
Okay. So, Brad, guacamole. I suppose you're on board with that too.
I am, but it has to be made correctly and with the right avocados. Otherwise, it sucks.
Steve?
Guacamole?
Yeah. No. If you can't get past
the no. That's what I said. If it's guacamole and we've got the right kind of onions in it and all the right ingredients, then
interesting.
See, I'm tasting all the other things that I like.
Do you know what's fascinating about avocados though is, and I don't know if it's still this way down in Mexico, but at one point they were like hotter than fentanyl. They were
moving them through avocado shipments, drugs and stuff.
No. It was avocados. They were.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a shortage for a time.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And the gangs were getting in there and taking farmers' land. It was crazy what was going on.
I remember that now that you mentioned it. Okay.
As long as there's no agave shortage, I'm good.
There we are, man. Steve and I need to hang out more often when he's in town. Okay, so let's see here. Steve, because you're a sports fan, who will win a Super Bowl first? The Lions, the Browns, the Falcons, or the world will come to an end before any of those teams do? Lions, Browns, Falcons, world ends. Those are your four options.
We will have 50 presidents before that ever happens. I've already will not have 50 presidents, so there's my answer.
Brad?
See, I don't
Lions, Browns,
unfortunately, because I used to be an NFL fan. I used to be a football fan, but and especially when I lived in Nashville, I loved the Tennessee Titans. But ever since it went all woke and stuff, I can't.
So picked.
I am only inching my way back in because I went there too. I actually went multiple seasons where the only games I would watch. In fact, just last year, I only watched the two conference championship games and the Super Bowl. That was it. I watched 3 games all last season. This year, I started reinserting myself. I wanted to see if I could get it back because I grew up I was an NFL devotee.
Yeah.
As a child, I had an entire shrine in my room to the NFL, my collections. I used to have 8x10 signed black and whites of all of the Lombardi era Green Bay Packers. I used to spend my allowance on that. I would get
Wow.
$1 a week allowance, and I would mail that $1 to the Green Bay Packers, and they would send me back a signed 8x10.
How cool
And
is
Oh,
that?
nice.
yeah, and so I had this incredible love for the NFL, and in fact, my parents used to march me out. Like after church on Sunday night, and people would come over to the house, and they would be sitting around having coffee or iced tea, whatever, and desserts at the table, and they would march me in front of them and go, "Okay, ask Steve any question you want to about any player in the NFL." And so they would say, "Oh, who's number 13 on the Detroit Lions or whatever." And I would at 7 years old, I could boom, boom, boom,
Cool.
boom, boom.
That's so cool, man.
And then I
Nice.
lost, but for the same reason though, the politics stole that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but that's what Marxists do. They destroy every single corner of a society.
They suck
And
the life right out
They
of it.
suck the life right out of it. Okay, gentlemen. Brad, if
Yeah.
you could add one former president onto U.S. currency who isn't already on U.S. currency, who would that president be?
Is Reagan on anything?
I don't think so.
That's
That's
what
your
I do.
answer. It's a good
I
one.
like him. Yes.
But what kind of currency would we need? Because I mean,
Well, it doesn't
inflation.
really
we
matter
need
because they're
bigger
going to
bills.
eliminate all currency and we're going to be only digital. So it's really kind of a moot point. But
Wow,
I'd
that's a good
put
one.
him on.
Good point. That just kind of brought the whole room down. Honestly.
And why do we still make pennies? That's another question I have. But could we make
Okay.
like a
$30 bill?
maybe? Maybe I was thinking
Okay.
some other coin, a dollar bill. We already have the useless Susan B. Anthony dollar.
Hold on. You just said you were trying to think of a coin dollar bill?
A coin
How does it-
dollar bill.
A
Yes.
coin. I can't wait to see the design on that.
It's called a boin. It's a difference between or a kill.
Steve?
Semi.
No, that's real good.
I probably wish I'd have said Reagan, but the first thought that came to mind was Calvin Coolidge. I think
Thank you.
if any president deserves a, we
got Coolidge stickers. We got cool. This is you know what, guys? I'm sorry.
That's his
This-
Taylor Swift shrine.
This is my look at this, bro. I mean, I got a problem, right? I mean, you got this. Somebody sent me this
Wow.
great quote. But this is the greatest picture of a president ever, I contend. This is Calvin Coolidge off the back of a train, reaching down, shaking the hand of a young boy here. Wait,
Tilt it
that is
forward. Tilt it forward. Yeah. There,
you see that? That's
there,
cool.
yeah.
I just think that's
But see,
I
but
love
you're
it.
right. See, we're never going to have. We're only days away from no longer needing currency of any kind.
Uh-huh.
They're going to install a chip in our forehead or our hand or something, and that's going to be it. But the right.
What is
suck at,
everyone?
we suck at rapid fire. I just want to
No,
point out.
no, we do. But it's. But I'm old enough. Do you remember the $1,000 bill? Have you ever seen a $1,000 bill?
I just posted something the other day. Go ahead, talk to us about it.
I've seen a $1,000 bill, and I would love to see there used to be $100,000 bill. I'd love to see a Calvin Coolidge $100,000 bill or something like that. But I would just say that those days are gone, and it's not coming back. We're going to lose all of our currency here soon
Because we're slowly circling the drain. Why does everything come back to being depressed and just?
Because that's our reality,
We're
man.
doomed.
I'm just looking
Damn it.
here. So do they not make the $2 bill anymore with Jefferson on it? They killed
they
that
do.
one, right?
No, they
They
still
do?
make it. Yeah.
They still
Why the hell would you put McKinley on a $500 bill? I mean, thanks for being president.
Why do
for
we
5
make
minutes.
pennies? Steve?
Uh-huh. But Grover Cleveland was on the $1,000 bill. But let's see.
They make pennies so that I can put them in the giant pickle jars that I have full of pennies at home. That's why.
Right.
Oh, James Madison was on the $5,000 bill. And
wow.
then
I didn't even know we had a $5,000 bill. What was
it was.
the
It
biggest
looks like
ever
it was
made?
1 year.
What was the biggest
1816.
bill, Steve? Do you know what the biggest
I
bill
think we
we
had
ever
100.
made?
Didn't we? I think we had $100,000 bill at one
I
point.
don't know.
Salmon Chase $10,000 bill, and yes, $100,000 bill. You're not even going to believe it. You
Who
just
is it?
what a garbage choice this was.
Who was it?
Woodrow Wilson.
Oh God.
I want to vomit now.
$100,000 gold certificate.
Let's see, Steve. What is your favorite dramatic TV show of all time, and your favorite sitcom of all time?
Oh gosh. All right. Well, let me start with a sitcom because I'm split on that one. It's got to be between Andy Griffith Show and Seinfeld. Those are the if I've watched two in syndication over and over and over and over again, more episodes than any other, it would be those two. So we're starting there. Dramatic. Wow. That's my. I mean, obviously the Sopranos are in the conversation, and then Breaking Bad is in the conversation. But
I didn't mean to grunt.
But the two that I love the most.
What is happening?
I got
it's
it again.
A party in there,
You're
man.
getting balloons.
They're liking what I'm saying, and they're rewarding me. With
right.
balloons.
What is that? I love it.
I don't know. I don't have control over these balloons. But see, I'm the two BBC shows, which of course have been on Netflix, is the I think maybe Peaky Blinders is now my new favorite show of all time.
I've never seen it. I hear I should.
And yeah, you should. And then the other one is the BBC version of Sherlock with Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch, yeah.
That is just those two shows right there are probably my two apex predators of dramatic TV shows of all time.
All right, Bradley.
See the comedy thing, because I really did enjoy it, and it was funny because it was Brain Candy, Three's Company. But it was just
back to Hooters again.
Speaking of, and the funny thing was Suzanne Summers, smart woman, very smart woman.
Really?
But I mean, I'm looking because I've probably forgotten.
She was the Thigh Master.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm looking through all this list of comedies, and I mean, I've seen a bunch of, but for dramatic show, you said Breaking Bad. Either Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul.
Oh, see, that's top five. That's
possibly the two perfect shows with regard to they nailed the landing at the end. They didn't screw it up. Everything from one end to the end. There may have been a stinker episode in Breaking Bad, the one with the fly was, but other than that, I thought everything was done, and I love Vince Gilligan.
You nailed it. There is, even in the greatest shows, one of the most difficult things that the writers or producers have is creating an adequate ending, and you nailed it. Breaking Bad's final episode.
I've still never seen it. Shame on me.
In fact, they screwed it up by doing the movie.
Camino. You think?
I think they did. And then, but I'm going to tell you something. Better Call Saul's final episode, I think, is the most brilliant final episode ever written of any show, anytime.
Because they answered the question. Because
wait. See, I haven't seen it yet, and everybody.
I'm not going to give any spoiler alerts, but I was sure Kim Wexler was dead.
Oh no! See, now you just spoiler alerted.
I was sure she had to be, but the way they ended it,
take that off my list.
You don't know what it is. You don't know. I didn't say she was or wasn't.
No, you know why? You know why it was? You know why it was the greatest ending? There was a soul that was redeemed.
Yes. Yeah.
And you never expect that.
Right. And it was really the only anything other than what they wrote would have not, it just wouldn't have done it. But they were genius. They were absolutely genius.
I would not be able to decide between, as far as sitcom or comedy. It would either be The Office, Saved by the Bell, definitely. Punky Brewster for the win. Let's see, The Office, Parks and Rec, or Arrested Development. One of those three.
Wow,
I love those.
But Arrested Development screwed it up, like in what?
Yeah, they shouldn't have brought it back. I agree. Shouldn't have brought it back. But there's only one drama stands head and shoulders above all of them, and it's 1883. What a masterpiece.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's the prequel to
Right.
1923 Yellowstone franchise. Anyhow, last rapid fire. We are so bad at quote rapid fire. Brad, if you were president on day one, what would be
You
your
were an
first
animal.
official act?
My first official
President
act,
Staggs.
it would be abolishing some part of the government, whatever.
Yes.
And I don't know what powers it
How
would
about all
take.
3-letter agencies just with one pen?
Can you do that? I mean, are we talking legit be able to do this, or in a fantasy world? But I would wave my hand. But that would be the first thing I would do, is a something demonstrative and something effectively
I'm sorry.
shrinking the size of government
We're bringing this back to Hooters.
instantly.
Danny K.
In
Yes.
Funky episode, I remember
Yeah.
I must increase my bust.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yes, we're gonna get rid of the CIA, the FBI, the IRS.
But that's what got Kennedy killed. So,
Gosh, you ain't kidding. Well, do you think that you would?
Why did Danny Kaye only provide a headshot when she?
Okay, I don't know. All right. So what's the? What are you getting rid of there, Steve Baker, President Baker?
I don't even have to think about this, because for over 50 years I have said that the day that I become king, neckties are gone.
Well, get into radio. Get into radio, and you'll never wear a tie again.
Yeah, well, but see, that's the I've been saying that forever. Now that's and that would be my first executive order. But in reality, no, that would be the evisceration of the 3-letter agencies. If in fact I was president.
This is going to sound like I'm being flippant, and I'm not. This is a serious question. If you have to go in for a mugshot or something like that, Steve, have you already thought about how you're going to dress? If you're going to smile? If you're going to,
Oh no, I'm going to wear my congressional press badge. I've already, and when I go in for my arraignment, I'm going to wear my congressional press badge, and then I'm going to. I'm not going to do the Trump scowl. I am going to smile from ear to ear and let them know that I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to be here
because we're bringing the fight to you. You want this fight? Come on.
By the way, Carl Weathers just died.
Oh no.
76.
That's ironic. What?
I know.
I believe you.
I just stopped over. It's on my screen. 76 years old. Damn it.
Carl Weathers acting school.
I remember when he died the first time.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You can't die twice. Can't fool me.
Let's see here. Hang on 1 second here. There is I got too many tabs open here. Okay, so let's see here. This picture right here.
Is it Taylor Swift naked?
It's Taylor Swift AI naked. It is that is an apartment complex in Brighton, Massachusetts. In fact, I looked it up because I'm a loser. It's 1.5 miles from Coolidge Corner.
Is that where Calvin Coolidge lived?
Not quite right there, but there is an apartment deep inside that building. This is 22 Chiswick Road, apartment 5. If you'd like to find it on Zillow and follow along, but that there's an apartment in there that'll run you $160,000. It could be yours. This was built in 1920, and it's got 225. I'm sorry, I shortchanged you there. 225 square feet inside this baby. Shall we take a tour? Let's see here. So the $160,000. I cannot believe that people pay this kind of money.
It'll be the shortest tour ever.
Right. Well, I gotta hang on. I'm getting there. I'm not so good.
Wait a minute. How big is this thing?
Look at that. 225 square feet. And that's what she said. Thank you. Look at that, man. Let's see if I can
Make it bigger. Make it bigger.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Did I already show you this one? Did I already do that one?
I think the floors need refinishing.
It looks a little scuffy, right?
A light
Those floors are 124 years old.
I'm more concerned about the mold that I'm going to slip on there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And get
right. Here's your view.
Money to sue.
How about that, huh? How about that? Look at that view. Just the beautiful.
Wait a minute. How much you say that is?
$160,000. I mean, it's only $711 per
And
square
this is
foot.
where?
Oh my
In
gosh! I'm just check this out.
Massachusetts?
Yeah, it's basically
Nobody
Boston.
wants nobody wants to live that close.
$317 a month HOA fees? Are you kidding me? What in the world? Wait till you see this bathroom, gentlemen.
Are they on crack?
Seriously, I just don't understand. Look at this. Not even a window in the bathroom.
How do you open it? I mean, what if it stinks?
I guess you wait. That tile has been there since 1920.
How did you come across this apartment, just out of curiosity?
It was listed on some like lighthearted news site.
It's
It's
kind of
like
depressing. isn't it?
Worst value of all time newsletter.
right,
Right.
right. So anyway, so it got me thinking, what is the worst place you've ever lived? Because my hand's raised and they're all in Houston. My goodness. Because Carrie and I lived 45 minutes north of the city of Houston, and this rundown. It wasn't great. It was worse than we realized at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an apartment complex, and then we moved down to the city, and we lived in a place called Third Ward, which ended up being even better than this place, because then we moved to Charleston, and I don't know if you can Google this. This guy barbecued his girlfriend at our old apartment complex out in the parking lot. And people were like, man, what is that smell? What is that guy make? Yeah, it turned out to be his butchered girlfriend. So
Did they eat her or?
Nah, I think he was just getting rid of evidence.
Oh,
But it just
disappointing.
insane, man. And so we lived in that wonderful place. The irony was when we moved down to the Third Ward, which is Sheila Jackson Lee's district, we had no problem with anybody. We lived down there for a couple of years, and then we moved to the far western edge of Omaha, Nebraska. And within 2 weeks of moving to the rural, the edge of town, my car stereo got stolen from the apartment parking lot there. Just ironic. But yeah, so have you gentlemen lived in any places that have been, I don't know, nasty? Because first of all, I'm not paying $160 to live there, much less $160,000 to own that. Ugh. Where have you lived? Where's the worst place you've lived? Have you lived in a place? Let me ask you this, Brad. Have you ever lived anywhere where it wasn't safe for you to take a nap in the middle of the day in your
people coming walking right in? I know.
Right.
It's funny that you should ask me, because we just started watching again for the first time Aaron Brockovich last night, and
we're bringing it back to Hooters again. Go ahead.
Exactly, which she did wear some stuff in that movie.
Okay, keep going. I have not seen the movie.
Hinckley, California is. I couldn't remember where it was that she. Anyway, Hinckley is right outside of Barstow, and on the way to Boron, California, which is where I lived when I was in fourth and fifth grade.
You could lie to us. We would not have.
I think it's fifth grade, but fourth and fifth grade. Boron, California, which is where the borax plant is, and other than that, there is nothing there. It's a stone's throw away from Edwards Air Force Base, but Boron is in the middle of BF Egypt.
Okay, all right, Steve, you got any great places in your past?
I mean, it's ironic that you mentioned Houston, because when I was in high school, my dad moved the whole family down to Houston, and we were only there for a year, interrupting my high school career. And I hated it so bad. And it wasn't necessarily because of where we lived. I hated Houston beyond belief. I mean,
no redeeming qualities there whatsoever.
No, none whatsoever. And I could regale you with story after story after story after story of why I hated being there. A lot of it was personal, but at the end of the day, my dad actually came. So this was the summer before my senior year of high school. My dad came to me because he knew that he had made a mistake for moving us down there, and he came to me and he said, he goes, I'm not going to yank you out of school again in your high. I've already done that to you in the middle of my junior year. He said, but he said, it's your choice. You can finish school. You can finish your high school career up here, or we can go back to Shreveport, Louisiana, where we're originally from. And I said to him, how fast can we get back to Shreveport?
Wow.
And I said, let's go. Get me out of here, you know. But
Mhm.
so it wasn't because of the place we lived in. It was Houston.
Houston, I mean, it's just, I mean, you talk about being stressed out. That town is, in fact, someone who's lived in New Jersey, someone who was born and raised in Metro Atlanta and has lived in Houston, Texas, and New Jersey, that commuted to Manhattan every day, I would choose New Jersey 100 times out of 100 before Houston.
Whoa.
That's a fact. That's a
It's
fact.
the
Carries the same
humidity.
way. It's the humidity. It's the roads. It's the traffic. It's honestly,
Let me
it's
tell you
everything about that town.
Let me tell you how bad. Let me tell you, this is how bad Houston was for me psychologically. Is that, you know, when you talk about and you think about places that you lived, I've lived in Texas 3 times in my life,
Mhm.
in 3 different cities in Texas, and every single time that I'm, you know, you're answering questions like this, I don't even remember. Houston is blocked out of my mind.
Yeah. Well,
It only came up because you asked me about the worst place, and then boom,
yeah.
Houston.
Right. In fact, when Glenn was moving his operations from New York to Dallas, the first thought Carrie and I had was, is Dallas going to be like Houston? Because if so, that ain't happening. We're not going there. Thankfully, it's night and day. But
Yeah.
okay, so let me throw this at you. I was glancing through this that beautiful apartment, which you know, we gotta hang on. In case you forgot, gentlemen, the luxurious palace that is. I was reading this description here. Talk about a sales job. Listen to this. First of all, this is stunning. Absolute lowest price condo currently on the market in Boston. $160,000 for 225 square feet. Don't
What?
forget. Let's see here. It's a rare find on the market for the first time in over 20 years. Boasts a first floor. You're on the first floor. I'd be worried about someone breaking in. First floor studio layout with high ceilings and outdoor space, perfect for breathing life back into its potential. Here we go. Listen to this. While its charm needs a little coaxing, its blank canvas beckons your vision to transform it into a cash flow powerhouse. Imagine happy tenants enjoying the convenience of the location, the comfort of included heat and hot water, and the low property taxes. Think a nominal investment yielding high returns and minimal vacancies. The ideal equation for investor dreams. Don't miss this chance to own a piece of Boston at an unbeatable price.
I got you a piece of Boston right here.
Wow.
Real quickly here, we don't have to spend a lot of time on this, but Major League Baseball is thinking about
Are we
expansion.
done with
It
rapid
sounds like.
fire?
What's that?
Are we
What'd
done
you
with
say?
rapid fire? Like rapid fire? It's like, I mean,
Yeah, we're
can we
done.
do, like,
We've moved on
vanilla,
from rapid fire.
chocolate? Which one? Fast, go.
Oh,
That's rapid
I don't know. It's too hard. These questions are too hard. Okay,
Okay.
so Major League Baseball thinking about expanding. They're thinking they're going to go from 30 to 32 teams, and you can have 8 4-team divisions. But the reason I thought of you gentlemen when I saw this story is that some of the cities that are being mentioned, we've got Charlotte, we've got Montreal. You've had your chance. Salt Lake City, interesting. But Raleigh, North Carolina, where Steve lives, and Nashville, Tennessee, that Brad has a longtime connection to. Do
You
you
can't
think
have a
these
baseball team in Salt Lake City. You can't even drink there.
can't play on Sunday? How are you going to play?
Right. I mean, that's
So,
not cool.
so hold on. You guys are familiar with respectively Nashville for you, Brad, Raleigh for you, Steve. Do you think these teams? Because I mean, it seems like pro teams that are already there at those locations are doing just fine. Yeah.
Well, in Raleigh, you know, we have an interesting situation in that it is obviously it's the capital city of North Carolina, and Charlotte gets all the other stuff. But when Raleigh got the Carolina Hurricanes, the hockey team, remember I was talking about playing golf with the Connells and Raleigh Country Club. We'll see when the Hurricanes left Hartford. They were the Whalers back then, and of course I know nothing about hockey. I mean, when I go to a hockey game, and I do go, when I go to one there in Raleigh, and they blow the whistle for icing or offside, I have no. I'm not like, why the hell they stopped? Can somebody explain to me why they stopped playing? I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. So I didn't know anything about hockey except that when they moved the team there, our golf club became the club of the team. You know, so they all of a sudden we've got all these hockey players there at the club, And
Right.
I'm thinking, like I'm thinking football. So I'm thinking they're going to be big guys, like giant, guys like football players are, and they're not. They have lower center of gravities. I mean, their thighs are, as big as most men's waist, but that's from the skating. So I couldn't really, I didn't really know which guys were hockey players and which guys weren't. And so the other thing that they brought to town with them were their trophy wives, which I also didn't expect at the club, going to the pool. And so one day we're at the turn, we're at the 19th hole, and and we're in the clubhouse, and there was a bunch of hockey guys there, and I'm thinking I didn't make the connection because they weren't big, giant looking football players. And so some of the trophy wives walked by, and I made a couple of let's just say in our opportune comments for the moment.
No.
And
You thought you were among friends.
Yeah, but so that got me in trouble. But yeah, so I'm glad we're not doing rapid fire right now. But anyway, so the point being is that franchise has done really well. I mean, I never would have thought hockey would have done so well.
It's bucked the trend of small market. Yeah,
and below the Mason-Dixon line of all, where people have never skated before in their lives. And so it's been a huge boon there. And then, but here's the other thing. In Raleigh, we have our neighboring town of Durham has the number one minor league franchise in the country, which is the Durham Bulls.
Durham Bulls, yeah.
And they do great numbers. And, it's, I'd almost would hate to see Major League Baseball come to Raleigh and take away from the
interesting.
We have, the Durham Bulls are a cultural icon.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. You mentioned that because when I grew up, I think when I was like 4 years old, 5 maybe, the Calgary Flames, the Atlanta Flames moved to Calgary, and then we had a minor league team, the Atlanta Knights, that were the minor league team for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And boy, that atmosphere was raucous. But then they brought in the Atlanta Thrashers, and it was a mausoleum. And then, of course, they moved to Winnipeg. Atlanta, congratulations, the only American city to lose 2 professional sports franchises to Canada. So anyway, when I was a kid growing up, we didn't have the closest hockey team to Atlanta was the St. Louis Blues. I mean, now you've got the Nashville Predators, you've got the Carolina Hurricanes, obviously the Thrashers have come and gone. You got Tampa, Florida, all these southern teams that weren't a thing back then. It's amazing to see it flourish everywhere except for Atlanta. So congratulations to Raleigh. It's a fun franchise too. I mean, the players are. It's just a fun atmosphere. It seems there in Raleigh. Very well. Okay, so I'm gonna save this because I don't think we have time for that. I want to honor our commitment here.
I do have one other thing to say about anything related to professional sports moving into my city, is that if I have to pay more taxes to build them,
I know. No, I got you, bro.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
I'm with you. I'm with you. When I was a kid,
in Nashville, they're already talking about building another stadium for the Titans. Wow. I think they passed it. I think they did.
See, but when I was a kid, I was torn on that issue. As an adult and as a taxpayer, I'm not torn at all. Not a chance. But of course, it always does. It's like everything. Like a bond issue. These things always pass, and it's like, what are you doing? By the way, I almost forgot. I had to show you guys this link here, or this logo, the Major League Baseball logo. I didn't realize this till I was looking for this logo to kind of put up during the segment, and obviously I forgot because I'm an idiot. But I only learned this last week. The Major League Baseball logo, it can be a right-handed hitter or a left-handed hitter. I'll let you study that logo.
See, I automatically see it as a right-handed hitter.
I do too, but then you stop and you think for a second.
Weird. You're right.
You could be a left-handed.
I can't. I'm trying to switch my brain around, and it won't do it.
It won't do it.
Nope.
You can't get the lefty going there.
Won't let me out of the right-handed hitter. Yeah, I am seeing his right knuckles on the top of the bat. That's what I see.
Pretend that's his left knuckles.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not. Moving on. Okay, so since Pat doesn't like animal videos, we obviously reserve this space for animal videos. and I have a few for
Is Pat
you.
still a communist?
Oh, of course, bro.
Okay.
He
Just
doesn't like
asking for a
animals.
friend.
It's sad, right? It's
Mm,
really sad.
really is. You have
First,
such
let's do
potential.
such potential. So let's. I think this one here. Let me see here. Okay. So this one here is now this is a creepy video, honestly, when you get that down to it. It's what you're looking at, gentlemen, is a bunch of aquariums. And if you can see kind of the upper right corner, I hate that this is so small. Ring the bell. This is a stingray, right? It's gonna jump up here, and it's just, I don't know, it's funny, but it's creepy at the same time because look what it does. You can see kind of its eyes and stuff. See, it's spitting. See how it's spitting out water? That's kind of funny, right? Yeah. Let's try that again. Did you understand what was happening there? A little
Can you
creepy.
make it bigger?
See him spitting?
Is
Spitting
he like
water out of the
pulling
tank.
himself up and spitting over the top of
Yeah,
his
over the
tank?
edge. Look at that.
Is
Maybe
that
if
what
I
stingrays do?
I don't
I
know.
thought they just
Hang on.
killed you with
I'm
their
gonna
guards.
how do I remove? Okay, I'm gonna remove you. I'm gonna remove you. Boom, boom, boom.
Are we back?
Oh wait, now my brain's messed up because now you guys are in different spots.
Right.
Let's see. Let's see here. What else we got here? Animal video wise. This is, where did it go?
Can I?
Scrolling.
I wanted
Talk
to
to
ask
me.
a question.
Yeah, I'm gonna play a cat video here in a second, but go ahead.
Okay. So you saw that the Capitol Police aren't pressing charges against dude for, you know, getting some loving in the Senate chambers
Right.
Right.
because
Right.
because apparently there's no
Because it's love.
because
there's no
love is
law.
love.
And there's no
And
law. Don't
you're
be
right.
hate.
There's no law. So wait, are you telling me there's no law against getting some loving in the Senate chambers and posting video of it?
Bro, I don't live in normal America, so I can't answer that.
Okay, just that was one question I had. The second one, Darius Rucker headline: Darius Rucker caught with marijuana psychedelic pills during traffic stop, according to the police.
Ooh, good for him.
Mhm.
Well, I know his
Hang on.
lawyer, so I can help you there.
I got it. Can you guys hear Matilda barking back here? Very rudely, I might add. Brian Sack has a fun.
Go back to the Senate chamber love just for a moment,
Mhm, yep,
because love is love.
love is love.
And if we're talking about Senate chamber love, and we're talking about Capitol Police not investigating,
Mhm,
one thing that I have learned
mhm,
since January 6th, because there is one agency that I have done more investigating into than any other, and that is the Capitol Police.
mhm.
I know more about the Capitol Police than I ever desired, ever wanted to know, and ever cared to know whatsoever.
Okay.
But I will tell you this, that if all of those chambers could speak
Mhm.
and to tell us what they have seen,
Right.
and somebody, and I got corrected, because the one of the stories that we released through the Blaze here was the perjury of two different Capitol Police officers in
Right.
Oath Keepers trial.
Right.
And so I remember the first time that I was on News and Why It Matters with Sarah Gonzalez, and said something to the effect of, is this really the Capitol Police? Are these really the kind of people they want protecting them on, in Congress?
Mhm.
And then I got a call from a retired Capitol Police officer immediately after the show. And he said, and he corrected me and said, Steve, yes, that's exactly the kind of people they want protecting them, is the people that will lie for them.
Wow.
It's
That's heartbreaking.
it really is, and I'm looking on my phone for a I got a text, one of those just automated texts, and it was from the dude. Which Capitol Police officer is now running for office?
Harry Dunn.
Yes, and I got a text from him, and obviously I know it was automated, but it was the hey, we're I'm running for blah blah, and I count on you for blah blah, and I think I responded, you're a peckerwood, and I wouldn't give you $1. Um, and here it is right there, right here. And they call me Cody. Cody, my name is Harry Dunn, 3 years Capitol Police Officer. I defended the U.S. Capitol from insurrectionists. Today, I'm proud to announce my campaign for Congress. This was on January 6th. That he sent. Oh,
Oh, get out of my face.
I defended members of Congress who invited the violence into the Capitol. The day showed me just how fragile and precious our democracy is. We need fighters in Congress who are willing to show up to hold far-right extremists accountable. And then my response was different. I said, I wouldn't send you a nickel, F off, although I didn't say that. But it's just those Capitol police officers,
Mm-hmm.
The word pussy comes to mind, and only because I'm thinking of my cat back here.
Cat. Oh, speaking of cats, I'm glad you brought up cats because I have you've got a cat. I bet I've owned cats for all of my life until recent years. And boy, they can get into some tricky situations. Who's with me?
Right.
And
right.
And here I thought we were segueing into words, the history of cuss words, but okay.
We could. Look at this. Look at this cat. Watch this. Oh,
whoa!
Oh, into the light fixture.
Oh, no way.
Look, he's just hanging out up there now.
Holy crap.
What in the world? Cats, man. They break so much stuff.
Don't they, though? You can't live with them. You can't leave them on the curb when you're done with them. Kind of like women.
Okay. That took a dramatic turn. Let's see here. I have a.
Depends on whether you pick the woman up on the curb or not.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
What an interesting pairing you two have been today. That I wasn't.
There was a reason that the cavemen drug their women around by the hair, but I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Okay. Let's see. What was the other animal video I wanted to play here? Oh, where is it? Oh, yeah, here we go. Watch this guy. This squirrel that I'm about to play for you here. This is me. Like this is definitely because this is how I get napkins when I go to like In-N-Out Burger, which it's messy, This is how I grab them when I'm out the door. Watch this guy. Look at him just grab him out of the
squirrels are smart.
Yeah. Look at him. He's like, yep. I'm just planning ahead.
It's too bad they're
planning ahead.
They're really smart.
Totally making a nest out of that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They are they're total jerks.
So watching that video made me think of In-N-Out Burger because that's what I just grabbed just wad them up, just shove them in the bag there. And so I was thinking In-N-Out Burger is the best hamburger and it's the best fries. And I only recently discovered, I've only had them once, the animal style fries. Are you guys familiar with that over at the In-N-Out? Oh my gosh, they put bacon bits and this special sauce and all this stuff on it. And so I'm just curious, what is your favorite fast food hamburger? What is your favorite fast food French fry? I'm also going to look at the comments here and make sure I see, because I bet there'll be some good comments there. Who you got? Who you got? Desert Island.
I'm pretty low rent here on my favorite burger. I don't think that there's a more perfect burger when they get the ingredient, amounts just right than a double Whopper with no cheese. I don't put, but see, that's the thing. You have to have exactly the right amount of onion, the exactly right amount of, and see, I have to have tomato juice because I always order it with the tomato.
Yeah.
So I get the tomato juice and then I take the tomato off.
Yeah, but doesn't the artificial smoke stuff, the artificial smoke stuff, doesn't it get you later? I'm tasting that stuff.
No, I'm living the moment. I don't worry about what happens.
Okay.
Later. But that's what's weird is that if I'm at Wendy's, the only thing that I order at Wendy's is a triple with mustard and cheese only. So I get the Whopper without cheese and no mustard. At Wendy's, I get the triple with extra mustard and cheese only, nothing else on it. And then those are, and if I go to McDonald's, then it's always a double quarter pounder with cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can see that.
But the tomato juice, yes. The tomato, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Has just a little bit of sogginess to it. Brad, what is your go-to?
Well, there's the picture of the of favorite burger right there. I mean, you gotta love that burger. That looks good, doesn't it?
Where is that? Don't you dare say it's
Twin Peaks. That's the Twin
you were gonna
Peaks
say that. I knew
cheeseburger.
it. I knew you were
So
gonna say
just
that.
so you know. Anyway, I think you're good.
Okay, very good. What about
But
fries?
I actually make the fries.
Got good buns too.
Oh, they got great buns.
At Twin Peaks.
They've got some great buns. And that onion's working too. See, that's an old one.
Okay, moving on.
Street slang. The fries, you know what? The fries, it's the spicy ketchup that makes the Whataburger fries so good. But McDonald's does have great fries. I mean, they've always had great fries. Whatever it is, I don't care. It's probably whale juice that they stick in their fries. But it's good.
That's the great thing about the great things about McDonald's fries is you don't need ketchup. Other places you need ketchup.
You're right.
McDonald's fries, you never need, because they have marinated them in so many other chemicals that they've found the exact right ingredients.
And the fact that you can put them in in your sock drawer and get them out in 2050 and they will still
whenever you
look
need them
exactly the same.
Armageddon might come.
Long after we have no more presidents, you can pull an old order of McDonald's fries out and still eat.
Right there in the underwear drawer.
Brad, you sent a couple of videos that we haven't gotten to yet. They're pretty evergreen, and we've hit the 2-hour mark. Well, at least one of them from you. Yeah, one. But I think Steve, you got to run because I only asked for 2 hours. You good?
Until I have to go to the bathroom, I'm good. So. And then I got a bottle here with me anyway, so I maybe don't have to leave.
Let me know if you need me to take you off the screen.
I've got about another 5 minutes. I just have a couple of things because we're actually got a thing we're doing with the thing that I.
Wow.
Steve, I'm worried that after all the things that I've said today and having the Blaze logo behind me, that I'm going to get fired.
No, that's good.
Not for that.
Nobody in management watches me. Trust me, you're good.
You have to be really, really loyal and do your job.
Okay, so you've got to go, Brad. Is that right?
You'll have to explain that joke to him.
Yeah,
because
I'm kind of ignoring it on the fly. I got the impression that Brad is trying to ditch us, Steve.
I would never do that.
I'm gonna go do a thing, and then I got to watch.
He's just got a hankering for Twin Peaks right now, and he's got to go.
Good Lord.
I'm just looking
tell you
for
what,
that juicy meat. That's all. What videos did I send you? Oh, wait. Okay, sorry. Hang on a second.
The dinosaur. How the dinosaurs died.
No. This is the okay, so this is, you said
I'm saving the dinosaur death one. Don't.
This is the turn you on to
turn me on. Where's the bell now?
Turn you on, and do you get the audio from this too?
I don't know. Let's see.
Let's see here.
Should I put it on the screen now?
Yeah, put it on the screen. See.
Oh, cool. I got audio.
Okay. You said, who is the Tedeschi Trucks Band?
Oh, okay.
And
good. I'm glad that this will be.
And here's the thing about the Tedeschi Trucks Band. When I first heard this song, it was behind a Chevy commercial, and it's by like the Chevy Trax truck commercial or whatever. And I was like, I hate this song because I kept hearing it over and over, to the point where it's like, I got to look this song up because it's just making me sick. And I found out who it was, and now I'm in love with the Tedeschi Trucks Band.
That's good.
And I think you'll like them too. And because you introduced me to the Shirelles, or what's their name? The Cheryl?
The Shirelles.
Don't encourage him, Steve Baker.
What's the name of the band? The Connells.
The Connells.
Right. The people that make the hairdryers.
Give them their respect.
I am.
Hey, before we went on the air, we were having a discussion because I was talking about YouTube rules and stuff like that, and they frown upon coarse language, believe it or not.
Mhm.
Like they frown upon truth, and they frown upon coarse language on here.
Well, you
And
can vote yourself.
we got to talking about. Oh no, he just held up the bottle. Does that mean Steve's got to go tinkle, or what are we doing here?
No,
Okay.
they frown upon coarse language except when they don't, because
Right.
Mm-hmm.
In other words,
Yeah.
if it's F Trump, you're good.
it's right. It's
So
completely arbitrary.
so and it was George Carlin, right, who told us how versatile the F word was.
Mhm.
And it's fascinating, our discussion. Let's go back to what we were talking about before we hit go. You've looked up, Brad, the history of the F word, and it's just you can't get there from here. Is that right? Like
No,
we
you
don't know
can't.
where
I
it came
mean,
from.
and Steve has done
Wow.
the same thing. And because when you try to look up, I mean, about the closest they get is the German word, was it frickin'?
Oh, that's
That's
German.
that's German for the F-bomb.
Wow,
Um,
I didn't know that.
but it's and that's about the closest, at least that I've been able to trace it. Again, I've heard the fornication without consent of the king, the Van Halen album, for unlawful carnal knowledge,
Mhm.
all of those, and no one really seems to know where it is, where it comes from.
Well, and there was also a derivative that it was somebody's name, and he was known in his old English village of being a little effer, and because they had the big effer and the little effer, and I mean,
Right.
I look,
Little effers running
I
around.
have studied this word in and out,
Oh, okay.
in and out.
Do you know what you get when you cross a pygmy with a prostitute?
All right, here we go.
A little effer about that tall.
So but no, I have
I should have killed this at 2 hours.
I have tried to get to the origins and never got there.
Never
Nope.
got there, huh?
Nope. It's weird. It's very strange.
Lifelong pursuit.
So
Still happy you went over 2 hours, Keith?
yeah, so what first of all, check out okay. Thank the Lord that your screen isn't on the screen now. Can you take a look at your screen? Do you see the video suggestion that came up or something?
Oh, that's
Brad?
because I searched for the history of evolution of the word F, and there's a bunch of them on
I
YouTube.
see the word. Like it's like what?
Yeah, it's all over
Okay,
YouTube. So it's like I don't know why you can't
Right.
say it.
Well, I
if
think you have
it's
to
all
change
over.
your your settings on hey, this is explicit content or something like that. I think that's how they do that.
I mean, you can show this. This is a YouTube search.
Nah.
Why can't you show? I mean,
Hang on.
it's there on their channel. It
Hang
means it's
on. Yeah, go ahead. Finish your thought.
what?
Oh,
I'm just
sorry.
saying. You're
Hang on.
why
I'm
wouldn't we
trying-
be able to? I mean, they have a series called "The History of Swear Words," which is actually pretty good.
Thank you, Dave. Someone's looking out for me. Okay, I want to play this for you because did you not send this to me, Brad? I thought you did.
I don't
This
know
is
what
the
it is.
guy studying a riverbed. Did you send this to me? No, maybe not. Maybe it's a different
Beats
Brad
me.
in my life.
Is
You were probably drinking at the time, but
been.
let's see.
Am I
here.
naked in it?
Is there a video that you send me where you're not? I think is
Good
the
point.
question.
Good point.
Share screen. I have trouble. Okay, share this. Okay, watch this. Tell me, would you ever do this? This is fascinating.
Today I learned that there is a ship that allows you to explore the bottom of a river without ever even getting wet. It's called the Diving Bell Ship, and it works almost like an upside-down cup underwater, but with a few extra complexities. Oxygen is pumped into the capsule, and the overpressure forces out the remaining water, so all you're left with is a dry riverbed, which you can walk on without a diving suit. However, before you're allowed to go down into the belly, you'd have to go into this airlock chamber and get used to the pressure change. Once you're acclimated, you walk down the tunnel like staircases, and with every step you take, it gets louder and foggier, with the humidity at the bottom at nearly 100%. The ship is most commonly used for underground work and recovery of various artifacts like this massive anchor.
Wow.
The
That
question
is so
is,
cool.
this thing or not?
Oh, there we go. So
That is so cool.
That's pretty intense, right?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm with you, Steve. Nah.
Why wouldn't you do it?
Nope.
I don't know, because
No, I
I'd
don't.
be the one guy. I'd be like the submarine going down there,
Yep.
and
Yep. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
do.
accident prone. I
It's
don't
a
want that
river.
happening to
It's
me.
like 20 feet deep. How bad
I
can it
don't.
be?
I don't jump out of perfectly good airplanes, and I don't go down to the bottom of water.
I'm glad you brought that up.
bodies.
Nice segue, because I was going to ask you, if you had to decide, you read my mind, bro. If you had to decide, would you jump out of a plane with a parachute, obviously, or would you do this little river excursion? Mm, mm, mm. Have
Jump
to
out of a
decide.
plane. I look. I don't like water, and I don't like heights. This is just not my bag.
That is okay. So fear factor aside, that
Hmm.
is super cool. That whole
I did. That's
suction it
genius.
out.
I think that's genius.
I love watching videos about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. I love actually.
From my couch
No, I used to
until
say
someone
this,
walks in.
because because I've been a writer for a long time, and I always said that I enjoyed writing about the stupid stuff other people did. And
There's
now
something to be
I'm
said for
doing
that.
the
Yeah.
stupid stuff, which is
Right.
But Brad, you're all over this, huh?
Oh yeah, I would absolutely. I mean, the weirdest thing about it was the adjusting to the pressure, which I guess it would be more pressure, but I mean, we're talking about what, 30, 40, maybe 50 feet. Hell yeah, I'd do that.
I used to date a girl who was she was of female divers, like what do they call them, tech divers. She
Mhm.
was the fourth most certified female in the world
Oh,
when
wow.
we were dating, and she would go and do these cave dives down in Florida, where they would be down for 12 hours and we're not talking about these beautiful, crystal clear waters with a slack. They go into these tunnels where they
Right.
go 2.5 miles, and they're dragging like 7 tanks behind each
Mm.
diver. And so these are recovery. So what they're doing basically is they're training to recover dead bodies of people that
Right.
do that kind of diving. So it's like a cyclical thing, where the people that do that kind of thing die, and then other people
Right.
have to train to go ahead and pull those people out and die. So it's just, it's ridiculous. And I don't know what the attraction is to that, but she would call me. She would call me in the morning, and say, okay, we're going in. And then
And
you never know
hopefully-
if they're coming back
I
out.
was gonna say, hopefully you got to talk to her the rest at the end of the day. So
Yeah. And then 12 hours later, you get a phone call again. It's like, all right, we're out now.
right.
Oh, but
Gentlemen,
if she
I
wanted
hate
to
to
break
have
up
to
with
bail
you,
on
if
you.
she could just not reply at the end of a day. If she was like, I want the Steve guy out of my life, and then you'll
Right.
think it's worse.
I,
Okay.
I hate to bail on you, but I have to
You
bail on you.
suck.
Mostly it's just because Keith, I can't take another minute of you.
Yeah.
But
Amen. We're the same.
no, this
I'm
has
gonna
been fun
say
and
Huh?
it's been a pleasure.
It has been.
Um,
Go do the thing with your thing at the thing.
I've got to do the thing with the stuff with the guy and the thing.
Keith,
Okay, too many
Keith,
details.
before can we take 5 minutes and talk about Brad after he leaves?
Of course.
It'll
That's
be
what we
you won't
do
need
here.
5. You won't need 5 minutes. I promise you that. It'll
Brad,
be-
have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us. You'll be back with me
Absolutely.
soon. Yeah, we're gonna make this happen again. So thanks, buddy.
Yes,
Bye.
we are.
Miss you
I didn't know how
already.
you hang up.
Anyway,
on
let's
this.
talk about Brad now because he's gone. Steve, tell
Okay,
me everything
right.
you hate about
I'm
him.
still here. I can
He's
still
gone.
hear
He's
you.
gone.
It's
Talk.
not,
You can
I'm
just
not
whisper.
done
Don't-
yet. I
Well,
don't.
you want my first impressions?
We see you. That's awesome. Actually, I don't think he realizes because his other thing's disconnected, and
Right,
this
right.
one. Get out of here. Okay. Anyway, thanks, man, for making time. I don't really have much else. One thing that I forgot to mention when the squirrel was stealing the napkins. I'm sorry. Repurposing the napkins for his own use. Something happened to me. And you want to talk about ultimate first world problem? Is that I didn't get ketchup with my fries recently, and so it kind of triggered me when I saw, because it was at In-N-Out Burger, and so when I thought about, oh, that's how I go. Man, nobody realized how much time I spent at In-N-Out Burger, but I got to thinking, all right, this isn't quite the skydiving riverbed scenario, but if you had total first world problem question too, if you had to go without napkins or ketchup after going through the drive-through, okay, you have nothing, you don't have Kleenex, nothing, no paper towels, nothing. Are you gonna be able to live without the ketchup, or live without the napkins?
I have to have the napkins.
Yeah, man, me too.
No, because because that's where the rest of them that I don't use go into my glove box, and they're always there for me later. So
Mhm.
now napkins are a part of my routine.
Um, I respect that. I'm gonna save this other video for next time Brad's on. No offense to you, Steve, because he did send me this, and I can send this to you if you want to take a look at it. But those in the chat there, those of you tuned in, thanks so much. Brad sent me this video. It's this really freaky way that they discovered how prehistoric animals died, and it's interesting. Anyway, so death. So that's the tease. Next time Brad's on, we're going to talk about death. So that'll be fun.
I'm just looking forward to the kidney stone episode. We need to do that.
Oh, how do you promote? Like, that'll be. How am I going to convince
if
people
we
to tune in?
advertise that across all social media platforms, we could have a couple million.
Oh yeah.
Talk
to us about your kidney stones, y'all. That'll be fun. Let's see. Anything? I'm trying to make sure that I got everything covered. Oh, here. Hang on 1 second here. Let's see. We talked about. Yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything here. Anything on your mind that you want to speak about? Like what? You're just kind of in limbo now, right? With the feds, and are you living in Dallas or just you visit us often?
No, I don't. As soon as I leave here, I'll turn off all my devices and I disappear, so that nobody can track me. I'm just joking. I don't.
That's not a bad plan, bro.
No, I can't because I have a 2023 model car, and so it's got all I'm wherever I go, they've got me. But I actually technically have a North Carolina address. That's my legal address. That's what it says on my driver's license. But the reality is I'm never home. I live on the road.
I don't know. I'm trying to think this through. IRS, close your ears. So if you work half the year in Texas, more than half the year, could you get away with paying zero state income tax, or you have to pay state income tax for any of the time that you're in states with an income tax?
Well, because this is new for me, this coming year will be my first, actual W-2 income from Texas. I don't know what the ramifications are yet, but it's still it's still going to a North Carolina address, and so this is going to be new territory for me with regards to that. But I'm open to maybe relocating down here. I don't fear Texas at all. In fact, I'm quite attracted to it for a lot of reasons.
Oh, wait till July.
Well, no, I was here.
Okay.
My first trip to Blaze, it was 118 degrees outside, and
emphasis on the Blaze.
Yeah, it was
funny, right? That's good.
Yeah, it was rough out there, and then that was when I learned that y'all kept it at 13.5 degrees below 0 Celsius inside the studio, so I didn't know how to dress. So
it's hit and miss with that. Some days it's hot in the studio, and some days it's ice cold.
It's cold right now.
Oh, really? Oh, it wasn't
in here right now. It's
earlier
cold
today. Oh, good. So it takes all day. See, this is okay. I don't know if we've talked about this on the show on Pat Gray Unleashed, my day job. But see, here's what happens. The people that thermostat that runs that room is shared with the people that switch the TV control, right? And God bless Joe who switches the cameras for Pat Gray every morning, because he tolerates the cold because it makes it comfortable in our studio. The problem is, at the end of the day, the people that are running those cameras in that other room, they crank up first of all, they turn it up when they get there. But then at the end of the day, no matter how many notes, how many conversations, they crank it up to this stupid high number so that when we get there in the morning, we're trying to catch up. We're trying to bring the temperature down. That, you know, it's, again, these are first world problems. I get it, but and God bless those of you who work outdoors. You know, but it's this constant battle with the thermostat there. So if it's comfortable, it's good to know that at 3 in the afternoon it finally gets to a comfortable temperature in there, huh?
No, it's cold right now.
Oh no, you said it's cold. You said it's cold.
No, I'm warming my hands up underneath my
Oh no, I'm
arm right
sorry.
now because it's cold in here. No, but it is. See, 3 weeks ago when it got down to 0 outside, and they forgot to turn the heater on in the building. Remember that?
I tweeted out 40 degrees on the thermostat upstairs.
Yeah. So you came in. I saw your tweet at 40, and then when I went upstairs later that day, it was 48. And that was later in the day after they had been running the heat all day. And then the next morning I was on Glenn's show, and they had, at like 9 o'clock, and Glenn didn't even come in. He was doing the show remotely because it was too cold in here in the building. So it's 40 degrees upstairs the next morning. And I got my parka on and everything else. And then I walk into Glenn's studio, and Stu was sitting in there, and it's 80 degrees in there.
Now, Stu, he is a head case with the temperature stuff. He's never warm. He's like an old lady. He has a blanket, an electric blanket on his lap during the show. It's humorous for sure.
But the only thing I could think of is it was super hot in there because Glenn wasn't there, so he had the privilege then of turning it up.
Right. Yes, that's exactly right, because Glenn likes it cold as well. I will say that night before the snow, which, by the way, congratulations to the weathermen who didn't say anything about snow for Dallas-Fort Worth. They said it could be ice and it'll be light and all this stuff. They got that kind of precipitation wrong, but yet again, we're supposed to make plans 100 years out on weather predictions,
right,
to change our economy. But I took a space heater that they keep downstairs in the control room, and I put it in my office upstairs, and I spent the night there on the cot. And so I had this nice, cozy, warm cave upstairs, and then I opened the door in the morning to go out there. Whoa, what is happening, bro? It was ice cold, yeah. But because we work in a warehouse. Let's be honest, it's a warehouse, and it's tough to heat.
It's a warehouse with a rocket ship in the.
There you go.
Back. I mean,
exactly right. Well,
that's been the most bizarre thing since I've been here over the last 6 months. Is I never know when I walk in the building what I'm going to see, and it's a surprise every time.
The Forrest Gump bench. We got robots. We got any manner of thing. We got a polar bear.
Yeah.
And we got Sputnik. We've got you name it, the Apollo, like you referred to. We've got pretty much Glenn's collection of history is fascinating, to be sure. Yeah. Well, I can't thank you enough, Steve, for making time. I am so psyched about our next conversation about kidney stones and urologist visits. Yeah, that'll be.
Let's start promoting that right away.
Yeah, let me put that on the calendar. Oh shoot, I can't find a pen. Dang it. No, you and I don't know. We'll figure out some other fun stuff. We could do a health talk with Dr. Steve Baker. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But anyway, we do need to go to Thunder Mountain for our kidney stones. Do a live stream from the back of that train. Okay, kids, thank you for making time. I want to remind everyone that, speaking of Disney, Saving Disney History Part 5, Ed and I have discussed, at length, and it's going to be a 12-part series when it's all said and done, running through March 23rd will be our 12th episode. So every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern, we do a live stream where we're saving Disney history. And this week, it's going to be Walt's patriotism is going to be the primary focus. So it's good stuff there. Steve, thank you very much, sir. I will see you in the hallways there. And if there's any developments, you be sure to reach out. We love having you on Pat Gray Unleashed as well. So everybody,
thanks for letting me use your
absolutely.
Digs.
Absolutely. You know what you should do? Open that top drawer real quick. I know it's really stuffed. To the right.
To the right. The left or the right?
To the right. You're going to move the clipboard.
Okay.
And I know there's a lot of food. It barely closes.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So I want you to grab one of those little hippo things. You see that? The little hippo. What are they called?
Hippo.
Why don't you take one of them happy hippos with you and report back? Yeah, you maybe tweet it out and tag me. That is the greatest. And you listeners that send this stuff, you are incredible people.
Okay.
I want you to report and tell me if I am overselling it in that is the greatest snack that's the greatest food ever created.
Okay.
Ever created.
Okay.
And you tweet out your verdict, and you're not going to hurt my feelings if you don't think so, but it is perfect, and I want to know what you think.
I gotta tell you though. I gotta tell
Mhm.
you, I'm a little disappointed.
What?
Is I did Tim Pool show on Monday,
Okay.
and I was up there at his place.
Did he
and
get swatted while you were there?
No, we didn't get swatted that day, but he was at double risk with me there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
6 a.m. Don't record at 6 a.m. up there.
yeah, and
You're
so
asking for it.
the one thing that he had in his studio
Mhm.
is he had a bottle of 28-year-old Lafroig Scotch in his studio,
Okay.
and said I could have as much as I wanted. And so the difference between your place is Happy Hippo.
That's because you're not at my house.
28-year-old Scotch.
You were at Tim's house. Come to my house, and I will treat you right with the alcohol cabinet. In fact, the liquor cabinet. I'll send you a picture, and you can pick out something there. But oh man, yeah. Next time you can just come here and sit in the old chair that Matilda normally occupies, and we'll.
I'm gonna do a Blaze investigative journalist exclusive on the Happy Hippo experience, and see if Matt will let us publish that. So.
So I will permit you to take 2 of those individually wrapped things. One for the show, or for your little adventure, your experience with it, and then the other one you can take for later. For that's my thank you for you being here on the live stream. So 2 of those.
All right,
yeah,
so
not 2 boxes.
No,
2 individually wrapped.
I'm reaching now to get an open one.
Let's be clear.
So now that you've limited me to 2,
oh no, so
bring the full box back.
Yeah. Okay. I'm an only child, man. This is how I roll. I'm generous to a point. All right, look at that. Okay, we look forward to your tweet later. All right, brother. Thanks so much. Everybody have a great weekend. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Appreciate the time, man. Thanks so much.